Well, hey, welcome to the show before the show. I'm your host, Patrick Marlett, your local game guy, and this is co-host Will in the corner here.
Up.
Now, before we start this video, I just want to say, if you didn't watch our Vanifar live stream just the other night, shame on you. You should. Maybe the best... Ooze? How do I forget? I remembered.
Elf Ooze Wizard.
Elf Ooze Wizard Mommy. That there is. Someone is trying to...
Also jellyfish. Don't forget the subtype jellyfish that is not on the card but should potentially be on the card because she literally made herself look like a jellyfish.
She definitely looks like a jelly mommy. There's 60 of those in an hour.
The jiggle physics. On the tentacles. Which does not make it sound better, actually, thinking about it, but...
Really. So guys, hi. Welcome to Local Game Group. I hope you guys are having a lovely Saturday. Thanks for attending our seminar on Murders at Karlov Manor. The set is out, by the way. I saw it when I was in the store the other day. So if you missed pre-release and are looking...
is this weekend.
Never mind.
Friday was the start of the pre-releases. There's still ones going on today and tomorrow, I believe.
Well, there you have it. So I guess if you are watching this as a VOD later or interested in picking up singles, well, guys, we're going to highlight all of the cards you should be buying from this set today. That's right. You don't have to put any thought or effort into this. All you got to do is click that link in the description and purchase your singles from TCG Player. It's an affiliate link. It's an affiliate link. I'm sorry. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna hold a banana to your head. I'm going to make you buy your singles from TCG Player. But seriously, if you guys want to help the channel, that's a great way to do it. The way we do this, and by the way, I might eat a banana during the stream. I know you thought you'd have to subscribe to the OnlyFans, but whatever, breaking policy. So the way we do these live stream set reviews, if you haven't attended one in the past, just to get all the housekeeping out of the way, it's very simple. We go through the set in WUBRG order to include Multicolor and Land at the end of the video, so stay tight to the end of the video if you want to hear which artifacts you should be buying. Not too many, Will. Spoiler, not too many.
Yeah.
But maybe your detective cap or whatever.
I don't think I have a single artifact in my list,
I do.
actually. Outside of, like, colored artifacts.
Okay. Well, so we cover it in that order, but we stop during each section to get your input on the set as well. Obviously, we've all seen the previews. We all play different lists, so we'd love your input on this. The whole concept of doing this live is so that we can have a full flushed out review of the set. So cards we don't cover, feel free to shout them out in the live chat and we'll discuss them during the stream. That's what makes this fun. So please participate. It also gives, more people more cards to potentially buy off TCG Player. That's right. Buy your Agatha Soul Cauldron now. It's cheap. Buy the One Ring now. It's affordable. Anyways, Will, how you doing?
Doing well. I blasted out my list this morning for notable cards, and there are a lot that I actually found rather notable.
Oh, really? Okay, well, That's good for you, I guess.
I'll say that there's not a lot that I think are going to be key cards, but it's like, oh, there's 8 cards you should definitely pick up, and then there's like 30 tech cards that you could consider. Like reasonable tech cards. I'm not going to be like, well, hear me out. Naturalize is a good tech card because 2 mana instant speed removal.
Well, look, murder. It works in other formats.
Hear me out. Murder kills Dargo. Abrupt Decay doesn't. Remove that Abrupt Decay, add Murder.
Yes, you've all been mistaken. That's right, guys. We're trying to steer you on the right track, okay? Like, unlike these other Commander channels that don't know what they're talking about, trust me, TCG Player, link in the description. Okay? All I want to say before we get into this is I bet that Will did not find the red combo card that I did. Don't even guess at it. Don't even think about it, Will. I know you covered one.
I covered 2. Thank you very much.
Did you? Oh, never mind. Yeah, you covered 2, but you didn't find the mystical third one. So I'm gonna put you guys on the case. That's right. We're going with a Murder of Karlov theme here. This is all improv. But hey, you're on the case, guys.
I might know what you're talking about, but it's not worth it if I think I know what you're talking about.
Whoa. Guys,
depends. I could be wrong.
I'm going to highlight 2 of them, okay? So one is... fuck it, no. Name me the 3 combo cards that we might discuss today. That is your case. And if you solve it, you can purchase those cards from TCG Player in the description. You're welcome. Or you could buy, even if you don't solve the case. How about that, junior detectives? And at any rate, I'm going to plug it as much as possible, just shamelessly today to annoy you. But no, thanks for hanging out on Saturday. Do stay tuned for more of these streams on Saturdays, Fridays, for Magic specifically. We're going to get back to Sorcery soon. I know people want to talk about Sorcery, don't worry. And One Piece on Wednesdays. But I guess I didn't really officially start this. Everything's checking out with you guys? Hey, I'm Patrick Marlette, your local game guy. Today we're going to be going over a full set review of Murders at Karlov Manor. That's Will. We're on Scryfall. Let's go. Guys, we're going to start with white. Again, if we miss anything in white, please let us know. Also note that we've already discussed all of the legendaries from the set for Commander. We might mention a few legendaries today that belong in the 99 or just good utilities that you should be picking up. Link in the description. But we're going to start with white. I guess I'll start.
Sure thing.
Okay. So I just want to highlight this because we're getting more of these. I gotta make sure it's not a dupe. Yeah, nope, not a dupe. Call a surprise witness. For generic and white, sorcery speed, return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Put a flying counter on it as a spirit in addition to its other types. Why I bring this up, I love seeing these reanimate spells in white. I love that we're getting more. My favorite so far has been the one from Brothers War. I actively use that in Oswald. It's also very good. Obviously, depending on your list, this may or may not be valuable to you, but it's just another one. So this is great. I love that we're going this direction. Also, it happens to be a story spotlight card, so there's that for you. And that's Teysa, who looked like she was murdered. I didn't follow the I know Wizards is releasing like the story of the game now for people to, if they haven't invested time into reading into the story of Murders at Karlov Manor, it's there for you. I guess this is part of it. Will, call a surprise witness. What are you trying to return?
It was, well, this was also on my list, but I do want to point out, making something spirit is not a forgettable thing. There are actually a good amount of spirit synergies that exist, and the flying counter is also surprisingly nice.
You can sacrifice it to the bird. What's the bird? The Hadoken bird?
Oh, Kaikar.
Continue the storm with Kaikar. Yeah, there you go. It's a spirit.
Spend 2 mana to get a spirit to make 1 mana.
Well, you're converting white to red in a roundabout way. Could you imagine if you had to go through those hoops just to get red mana? Hey, look, it's there for you, okay? But the flying is actually really good. Will is correct on that. I mean, I think evasion is important. We shouldn't knock it. Most certainly until you try it, at least. The other card I want to bring up, I guess we'll just go through my hit list and then we'll go through your hit list and then we'll go through your hit list, audience. But Delny Streetwise Lookout. Do I need to say what this does? Best card from the set. Best card, Magic 2024. Delny Streetwise Lookout. Challenge me. Challenge me, Will.
I'm not even going to challenge you. It's debatably just the best card in the set. There's maybe like one other thing that might be better just because who can argue with Holy Moly, but Delny is really, really good. Throw it in your Tymna list, double up your Tymnas. Throw it in your Chulane list, double up your Chulanes and just kind of do some dumb stuff. Throw it in, what was the other one? Tashar. Throw it in Tashar, which we might be building in the very near future, and then get doubled up Tashar triggers. There's a lot of really cool things that Delny does, and those were just naming the commanders. Delny affects everything that's small. Really good.
Everything that's small. That's right, you weebs. Even you. I'm just kidding.
My name is Delny. I speak for the weenies.
My name is Delny. I speak for the weebs. All right, moving on. Right next to... Sorry, we're not... normally we expound upon these cards much more in length. I'm just going to encourage you to go to the legendary tier list where we discuss Delny there. There's a lot you can do with it. We'll just scratch the surface. It's kind of a stupid card. But the next one I want to talk about is another stupid card. Doorkeeper Thrall?
Yeah.
Generic and a white for a 1/2. Get this. You could... Wait, well, there are Thrall synergies actually, so it's a Thrall, but it has flash, flying, artifacts and creatures entering the battlefield don't cause abilities to trigger. That's right. Get effed, Thassa's Oracle. Just F off. You can F the F out of here with your flash flying Thrall. That's right.
Yeah, let's take Hush Wingriff, flip the stats, reduce the mana, and make it hit artifacts.
Did we? Hushwing Griff is like 3 CMC, right?
Yeah.
Did I
one
not?
Mana less.
I feel like I brought this up when it was spoiled on the Discord. Also, there's a link to the Discord in the description if you want to go there too. But while you're down there, there's a link to TCG Player where you can pick up all your singles, like freaking Doorkeeper Thrall. I think there's no look. Obviously, it's symmetrical, so if your list doesn't, it's not like running Dranith or something like in every list, but this is so good at stopping so many combos. I like, you just need to run Doorkeeper Thrall if you consider yourself a stacks player. Let me just say, from here on out, if you think you're a stacks player in 2024 and you're in white and you're not running Doorkeeper Thrall, you're doing it wrong. Is that fair?
Yeah. Kind of. Like, there's very specific situations. There's very few situations when you don't want to run it. If you're running a white deck and you actually do care about ETBs a lot, probably don't run it. But the thing is, white decks usually don't care. Like a Ranger Captain of Eos and Recruiter. And that's it. Even Tishar. Tishar cares about casting.
Yeah. So here's my suggestion to you. Use Ranger Captain and get your Esper Sentinel first, okay? do that first, and then afterwards, who gives a damn? You've got this. Also, by the way, oh shit, I think I sold my foil Ranger Captain of Eos. That thing's expensive now, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, well, I used to run that in Teshar. That card was really good in Teshar, I gotta say. All right, enough about Teshar, though. You guys don't give a damn, even though it top 4 recently. It's whatever. You don't want that card in your deck. I'm moving over to a little card called Immortal Obligation, Will.
Alrighty.
Okay, so this is not, look, Doorkeeper Thrall, you're going to want it in more list. Immortal Obligation, I don't know what list you want it in, but it's notable. For a generic and a white, return target creature card from an opponent's graveyard to the battlefield under their control with a duty counter on it. For as long as that creature has a duty counter on it, it's goated, can't attack you or permanent you control, and can't block creatures you control. So, I mean, I kind of like this functionally. I kind of like it functionally, but I don't know the best situations for this. But obviously, it could, like, you could hit their reanimate target. But if the reanimate target is something like a Razaketh, then you're just doing them a favor. But if it's just a value thing, you can hit it. More importantly, if it was a Doorkeeper Thrall, or it was a creature that's a stacks creature that helps in a pinch, then you can bring it back for them. I think that's really the only situation. So I would say it's meta dependent. Like, you're obviously not going to want to run this against Turbo List or decks that are playing Solitaire or are ill-concerned about controlling the board, right? So long as there's at least one Collector Oof in a graveyard, it's good for you. Obviously, people can redirect this with spells too, so there are downsides, there are detriments. I just think it's notable, excuse me, because you don't see this too often at this CMC.
I mean, it's still pretty good, because yeah, your opponent tries comboing off, and they blow up the Eidolon of Rhetoric, then you just go, okay, cool. I reanimate the Eidolon.
New one, and this time it's mad. it's so mad.
Yeah, this time it's throwing hands.
So, Will, do you have any other thoughts on this one? Death is no reprieve from an Orzhov debt.
It is an interesting card and a pretty good card. The only issue is it's a card that relies on your opponents to be playing more or less stacks.
Yeah.
So
meta dependent, okay?
It's a dead card in a lot of situations, but to be fair, if your opponent's trying to do some shenanigans and they put their Dargo in the graveyard, you can reanimate their Dargo and say, okay, cool. Punch everybody but me.
Oh, yeah, I like that. I like that. There you go. There's a strategy. Thank you, Will. Um, hey, Mike, nice. So we're moving on to a much better card, I swear. I swear to you, it's much better. What sucks, Will, is that this card's on the next page, so get used to it. Here, we're gonna go to this card here. Some of the best art from the set. Faye Dalton, Trouble in Paris. I know it's not. 2 generic and double white enchantment. If an opponent would begin an extra turn, that player skips that turn instead. We could just stop right there, Will. 4 CMC for that effect? Damn. I'll take that any day of the week. But hold up, there's more, you say? Whenever an opponent attacks with 2 or more creatures, draws their second card each turn, or cast their second spell. Cast their second spell each turn. You draw a card. I get to draw a card. Wait, what color is this? Am I reading this? Is this white? Faye Dalton, tell me, what did they tell you to do with this art? Yeah. And then outside of that, you get amazing flavor text. Together, they're greater than the sum of their rap sheets. I gotta say, I think more over the art, Will, I honestly think that the flavor text gets me the most. As I age, when it comes to Magic the Gathering, it's the flavor text that appeases me most about this game. And it's cards like this. This card's freaking amazing. Look, mind you, it's 4 CMC, okay? Look, it's not going to be as cheap as Rhystic Study. It's probably not going to draw as many cards as Rhystic Study. But if you're out of that color, I don't know, man. This is pretty good, in my opinion. Certainly better than Smuggler's Share, which is also here.
It isn't like as good as like the One Ring or anything like that, or the 4-cost ones. It isn't a bad card. I do want to also say, it doesn't say when your opponents attack with 2 or more creatures, it's if they attack you with 2 or more creatures. So that one's probably not happening. The other 2 probably are happening.
Yeah. This is a fact.
The only problem I see with the card as well is it's going to have the Azorius Rhystic Study problem, where you're in white, so you're playing Rule of Law. So it bottlenecks the draw.
No, Will, you take all the stacks out of this list. No, you don't. I'm sorry. It's probably like the best thing about white. Yeah. Just be smart about it, okay? I mean, look, I think if you're in a list that needs the draw, though, this is going to get you that draw. And if you don't find your One Ring, which is like, you know, we're talking about CMC to CMC, I think that punches way above its weight, where this is probably going to do just fine. But
like, saying card is bad because other 4-mana card is better is not fair when the other 4-mana card is the most insane and bannable card right now, with very minimal exceptions. Like Thorkel and Dockside are probably more bannable, but the One Ring is on the watch list, which I freaking called because now everybody else is kind of starting to say it. And I remember.
I'm sorry, is the One Ring on a watch list? What happens? Does Post Malone try to pawn off his One Ring if it gets banned?
I think
he just keeps it. Okay, but for everyone else,
for Commander, people are saying this card needs to be banned in casual and competitive right now, because it does so much and it breaks so many rules and conventions for Magic cards. Yeah, so the card is a bit too good.
Well, speaking of cards that are a bit too good, Will, at 4 CMC, do I have a card for you? This is my last one. It's like, is it the One Ring good? Maybe not. I do want to talk about it, though. So I'm highlighting this because it's instant speed. For 3 generic and a white, for each player, exile up to 1 target non-land permanent that player controls. For each permanent exiled this way, its controller cloaks the top card of their library. Obviously, this could be bad. You may not always have a great target, but this is kind of a funny check for people that just top deck tutored. Like, you're kind of getting 2 birds with 1 stone on 1 player. So if you know that they're fishing for their whatever part of their win con or play line to amount to a win, you can get them to cloak that shit. Hopefully, you know, they don't have a better way to turn it over, right? So it's kind of hiccup in that regard, especially if it's like an instant or sorcery that would just get screwed, and then they have to chain of vapor their own thing or whatever. Okay, you can see there's dilemmas if you cloak a thing that they wanted, but you're also removing probably their best thing at the same time that's non-land. I don't know. This feels good to me. I think 4 CMC is too high for a lot of players. It's probably going to be in 2% of winning list will, but I think that it's a good card, and at least notable. Obviously, if this was 3 CMC, I think we'd all consider it very highly. The fact that it's 3 generic.
If it was 3 CMC, this would be like debatably the most played removal card in the entire format, maybe more than Cyclonic Rift.
But they were very good to balance this. I could see this being played casually, definitely. But
Yeah.
I think well, I mean, the game is pretty grindy right now. I don't think it doesn't have a home, but that's a lot of mana to ask a player to keep open. But I mean, in some cases, you just have it. I mean, certainly in Oswald, I just have it. If I get the ball rolling on my plan, I got mana for fucking days. Like, well, I could do that. I could do this. But this is not for every list. I think it's a notable effect. I don't know if it was on your list, Will. Probably not, but...
It was.
Oh, okay. That's not...
There's 2 things that you didn't cover, actually 3 things you didn't cover of the reasons why I like this card as well. But you hit my main one of, I remove your thing and ruin your top deck tutor, have fun.
Yeah.
So this card can be an 8 for 1, and there's a reason I say 8 for 1. Because you may exile your own permanents as well. So if you're trying to combo off with the Rule of Law on your board, on the end step before your turn, you can get rid of your own Rule of Law, somebody's Collector, somebody's Opposition Agent, and somebody else's Rule of Law because they wanted to double up for some reason. You can ruin people's top deck tutors, but then also, if you Worldly tutored and you put down like Tidespout Tyrant on top, you now have a Cloaked Tidespout Tyrant in play, and if you flicker it, you have fun.
Yeah, wouldn't that work really well in Vanifar? Oh, wait, never mind.
I will say that this is going to be played in Aminatu 100%, but and Brago. It will 100% be played in Brago because it just lets you cheat things, and might as well.
Might as well, folks. All right, Will, what did I miss from White? What do you think I missed?
Well, before pivoting to that, since you said you love flavor text so much, I want to give you my one friend's favorite flavor text of all time, Fodder Cannon. You can
is it
check
here?
this card really quick.
Wait.
It's not in this set. It's an old-ish card, but you're gonna like this this flavor text.
Oh, they never change it. Okay. Step 1, find your cousin. Step 2, get your cousin in the cannon. Step 3, find another cousin. Hell yeah. Oh, this poor guy's fodder. The art's so damn good too. Oh man. All right, audience, let me know your favorite flavor text in Magic the Gathering in the comments. I'd be curious. We'll look up, how about at the end of this segment, we'll look up all the favorite flavor text cards. Just give me the name of the card and we'll look up the flavor text. At any rate, well, White.
Yeah, so my first include for White was something we've brought up on stream before, and I just wanted to bring this up because it's a nice card, not necessarily a great card. Assemble the Players.
Yeah. So I avoided it. Let me hear your thoughts, though. I mean, I've got Judith on the cover, so it's got to be good, right? Banana time.
It is 2 mana. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. Once per turn, you may cast a creature card or creature spell with power 2 or less from the top of your library. So, being able to play one thing every single turn, potentially, is kind of nice for 2 mana. It's kind of like a 2 mana pseudo draw. The main reason I really like this card is because it's top deck information for 2 mana. It's not anything insane. There are definitely lists who will want to run it. If you're playing any of the creature-heavy lists like Selesnya, Bant, anything like that, you probably want to consider Assemble the Players, but it's not going to be an auto-include.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. I saw that you were essentially peeling and eating a banana while I was giving my ramble.
No, I'm sorry. I can't even take myself seriously. It sounds... Will, everything you're saying sounds good, though.
Yeah. All right, what do you think, Patrick? Give us the take. You're the banana man.
Oh, man. What's that monkey that generates banana?
Oh, I don't even know that one by heart.
Isn't it a legendary?
Yeah, it is. It's a Gruul legendary.
And this banana's going to sit here for the rest of the... I can't take another bite. I'm going to lose my mind.
Kibbo? Kaibo?
Kibbo? How do you spell... You know what? I think
K-I-B-O.
Shit, man. Give me those banana tokens. Tell me that Wizards made a fucking banana token.
I think so, yeah.
They better have. Holy shit.
Oh yeah, I don't see it on the thing, but
Watsy.
I'm pretty sure they
Watsy.
made a banana token.
You better have made. Look, you can't keep producing cards that have. I was gonna say dumb tokens. This one's not dumb. That have tokens and not represent them in the game. You're encouraging me to make proxies. Okay.
Yeah, I can't find the banana token.
Yeah,
I'm
there's no
sure
banana.
that they did make one. But yeah, so
Is there?
Assemble the Players, just an interesting card, not something that'll go in everything though.
No, I agree. That's exactly what I was gonna say before I went on that Kibbo detour. Should I make Kibbo now?
No, there's better Gruul commanders. Make Holy Moly.
I don't know. Well, I think Kibbo is top tier, but we could talk about it later.
Because you're also Banana Eater.
Well, I'm a banana lover. Continue.
Well, unfortunately for you, Patrick, Kibbo's a banana fighter.
Is he a banana? Oh, he doesn't respect the banana?
Yeah, Kibbo, when he attacks, so you tap him and give everybody a banana. When he attacks, you force a defending player to sacrifice an artifact, so he's punching the bananas.
Okay. Well, I don't even know why I knew Kibbo existed, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I don't know why I know that.
I knew Kibbo existed because I have a friend with a casual Kibbo deck, but I can never remember it because he never plays it.
Kicking it casual with Kibbo. Let's go. Okay, so Assemble the Players, the best card from the set. What else we got?
My next one was Case of the Uneaten Feast, which is an interesting one.
I'm not gonna lie, I skipped out on a lot of cases, so we're gonna go to Will for pretty much every case. I gotta say
there is one case in every color that's good enough to mention, except green. But green surprisingly got some really good cards this set, so I'm not even gonna complain. But Case of the Uneaten Feast. It's 1 white for an enchantment that says when a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. Okay. Solved by gaining 5 or more life in 1 turn. Okay, a little bit harder, but still not too bad. The solved prize is sacrifice this case. Creatures in your graveyard gain. You may cast this from your graveyard until the end of the turn. So it's just a 1-mana enchantment that makes your grave your hand for a turn. Only for your creatures, but it's still pretty nice. And even as just a 1-mana gain a life when a creature enters, that's not too bad.
What is the deck that wants this the most? Wait, are historics just enchantments as well?
No, historics are sagas specifically.
Yes, sagas, artifacts, and legendaries?
Yeah.
I was gonna say it'd be cool in Teshar, kind of. It's a good way to recur things, but like, you could gain... Obviously, look, you don't need this to be historic for it to be good in Teshar, right? But I was reading over this one, and I'm like, oh, how do you gain the 5 life? Obviously, it does it itself. So it's not really looking for a specific deck. It's just looking for a list that will loop the thing. Is this a way to help ease a combo? Or... I don't know, man. It's good. It's good. Don't get me wrong. I think it's good. I just don't know. It's certainly not win more. It's not like, you need the assistance if you're looping Gravecrawler. But I don't know. What is the best play line for Case of the Uneaten Feast? In your mind, like what list is running this, and in what situation is it like, shit, I need Feast?
So one deck that I thought of kind of immediately when I saw the card, and I'm trying to find the commander because I can never remember the name of this commander, but this is a commander you built at one point. Because this commander gains life and cares about enchantments.
Kibbo?
Not Kibbo. Sithis. Whenever you cast an enchantment, gain a life and draw a card.
I really like Sithis, actually.
Yeah, and it's a 1-mana enchantment that will also gain you life, and if you gain 5 life in total, you can cast all the enchantment creatures from your graveyard, or your creatures that care about enchantments. So, it's pretty nice in Sithis. I don't think that the Uneaten Feast will be a card everybody plays, but it will be a card that might see play here and there as a nice tech card.
I'm just asking the audience, do they want mukbang CDH? Should we just start like feasting while we play CDH? Continue, Will.
We're just gonna have all the bananas. We're gonna have ASMR going while we're playing some CDH.
I don't think listening to someone squish a banana in their mouth is considered ASMR. I don't
But you
think
can
anyone
get an
wants to
apple
hear
then,
that.
Patrick. Get an apple. Get that nice crunch sound.
Does the squelch of a banana between teeth appeal to people? We'll do
I
it.
don't know.
If it brings in the audience, we'll do it. TCG player link. Anyways, what else you got for me, Will?
All right. Well, my next card that I wanted to bring up, and this is a potentially brutal stacks support card, and it is 10th District Hero.
Yeah.
So, 10th District Hero is 1 in the white for a human. 2 power, 3 toughness. You can pay 1 in a white, collect 2 evidence, and then this becomes a human detective with 4 power, 4 toughness, and vigilance. Big lad. Then you can pay 2 in a white, collect 4 evidence, and then 10th District Hero is a detective. It becomes legendary. Its name becomes Mileva the Stalwart.
Big
It has
lass.
base, yeah. Then has base power 5/5 and gains or other creatures you control have indestructible.
Hmm.
This is like another interesting Anthem Mother of Runes effect to some extent. The reason I like the card is because these activated abilities are not. Also, by the way, so it's I messed this up a little bit, but the second effect says if 10th District is a detective, then it becomes legendary and gains everything else. So it has the same clause where you have to activate it in order. But continuing, it's still like pay 5 mana, exile some stuff from the graveyard, instant speed your whole board becomes indestructible until this leaves. So it's a Timna blocker. It becomes a 5/5 that just has vigilance and is punching people pretty hard, but then also protects your whole board.
Yeah.
Not
Not
bad. I specifically like it with Timna as well because it gives your Timna indestructible and it'll give you a 5/5 blocker in the end. So it's just a nice protective card that's good with stacks.
Here's a trick, audience. If you put the detective cap on 10th District Hero, you can go straight to collecting evidence for.
Indeed.
That's a pro tip from yours truly here. I like that Mileva gives us main character energy and turns into the main character. I hope we get like a straight up Mileva, and enough with fucking Kellen, okay? I don't need to see that kid anymore. I'm sorry, that was kind of crude.
Dang.
No, I
Next,
just
next you're gonna tell me you hate Oko.
anyways,
Your one ring is now an elk. Have fun.
collect evidence is hard to play in early game. Will might be good
Yeah.
in cantrip spells, I guess.
Yeah, collecting evidence can be a bit hard, but the thing is that you can just play the 10th District Hero whenever, and then in mid-game you just go, okay, I have 6 CMC of stuff engraved, I'll just go bop good. So, while yes, collecting evidence can be hard to do, collecting 6 evidence isn't terribly difficult,
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that this is just designed to be a 2-drop that you can play with good stats is pretty good. It's going to become a 4/4 vigilance pretty quickly, and eventually it'll become a what's an Avacyn? It'll become an Avacyn eventually.
Do you recommend collecting evidence in an Underworld Breach list, Will?
I think you can, but
Okay.
I would be a little bit more. It'd be a bit sketchier to do that in an Underworld Breach list. I also don't
collect the
think that.
Force of Will. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that the 10th district, or should I say Mileva is not gonna see play in any of the decks that you'd want to run Underworld Breach anyways, because it's a slow card, but
Yeah.
then Underworld Breach is a fast card. They kind of contradict each other. But
Sorry.
yeah, it's just an interesting card.
I'm with you on it.
And my next card is a Wojak Horseman. I mean Wojak Investigator. 2 and a white for a 2/4 flying vigilance. Pretty good stat line. Pretty good keywords. At the beginning of your upkeep, investigate for each opponent who has more cards in hand than you. You're in white. That's most likely everybody. So it's getting like 2 to 3 clues every single turn just by existing, and it's a 3 mana 2/4 flying vigilance creature. Really good body and a bit of draw.
It needed Ward. and it needed flash.
And it needed indestructible.
And it needed to be a horseman.
And it needed protection from everything.
Clearly unplayable. No, I totally missed this one. You're absolutely right. I feel like we talked about this as well. But yeah, at the beginning of your upkeep, investigate for each opponent who has more cards in hand than you. That's amazing. I feel like this is a Teshar card. But I also feel like it's probably just a white card. This might be one of the better ones from the set. Not to encourage.
It's up to 3 draw per turn, and as long as you're playing stuff out, it's pretty good. The only downside of this card is people probably play out their hands. So on your turn, they're probably going to have less cards than they would have on average.
Mm-hmm.
But it should still get you like 2 clues a turn usually if you're playing out your hand too.
Mike says it needs banding. 100%.
Don't you mean flanking? Actually, banding is way more convoluted and complex than that, and I do love that. But
speaking of like keywords, just keywords we enjoy, by the way, there's a return of a keyword that I've don't say it, but it's a good one. We'll discuss it in a few. It's probably my favorite card from the set just because we're seeing that keyword again. It's actually coming up. But Will, are there any more white cards from you, Will? Any white cards from the audience you guys want to talk about? Let us know.
I think that's it, but I think I had one more card from the commander set potentially.
Well, you skipped it then.
No, I think that was... Hold on, I gotta double check to make sure.
No, you're good. Yeah, so odds are likely, guys, we're not going to discuss too many blue cards because I didn't see that many, and I don't know how many Will's got, but...
A few, but blue didn't have a lot for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is it for my white. I forgot what one specific card of my list was for a second, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's a land.
Oh, yeah. All right, audience. OnlyFans. Soon to be in the link in the description. If there are any white cards you guys want to discuss, please let Kibbo, myself, and Will know. But we're happy to discuss any white cards. I'm going to give you, as soon as I finish this banana, we move on to blue. Well, finish this bite of this banana. I'm going to savor it a little bit longer.
Okay, Kibbo.
Premium. Only Chiquita. I don't fuck with Dole. Only Chiquita will. If you really love bananas, treat yourself. Don't settle for less. Do we have suggestions? I'm glad the audience is enjoying the banana eating.
People are too enamored with the banana live stream.
That's right, guys. Only $5 a month to access the OnlyFans. And if you want private pics... It's only $10. Wait, I'm interested in Unyielding Gatekeeper. Thanks. Let's get us back on track, someone. Thank you, Ori.
That's the Loxodon, correct? Yeah, Unyielding Gatekeeper. I was right.
Wait,
sorry,
it's not
a Loxodon.
Whoa. Give me it. Why is it not a Loxodon? Because there's literally a card that refers to Loxodons in this set. And that's clearly... No, I'm annoyed, yeah. Will. I'm annoyed.
Yeah.
Wait, don't... I'm going to bring it up. It's freaking right. Where is it? Stop. Wait. There's a card that's like unwanted something. It's like a Loxodon in the background, but I think they refer to it as a Loxodon. Oh, son of a bitch. What is the name of the card, Will? Do you know what I'm referring to?
I don't. Hold up.
He's like listening in on a conversation. He's not wanted in the conversation, but he's there. I'm trying to suggest what the name might be. Oh my God. $5. What is that? Is that too much for you, Mike? I'm sorry. I'm not going to sell myself short. Wait.
Loxodon Eavesdropper.
There you go. Loxodon Eavesdropper.
So, and the thing is that it's also an elephant detective. Loxodon is not a creature type. So there you go.
But Loxodon has been a creature type.
I don't think so. It's just been referenced.
Hold up. No way. No way. Did I just spell it wrong? Anyway, let's talk about our locks. Fucking love smoked salmon. I have some locks in my fridge right now. Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
Looks like all Loxodon are just elephants with a job.
I feel The only difference between an elephant and a loxodon is one got off its lazy ass.
This
and
one's
got
a cleeric. The other one's a detective. We got a warrior elephant. Apparently, that's
Oh,
Loxodon too, because you
thanks.
can't have war elephants. Apparently,
Yeah, Will, thank you for breaking that down for us in the audience. Like, clearly, I didn't know that. I felt like I just watched an episode of Sesame Street. This is great. Get a job, you lazy elephant. Go for it.
Unyielding Gatekeeper, 1 and a white for 3/2 Loxodon cleric.
What?
Disguise for 1 and a white, and then whenever Unyielding Gatekeepers turn face up, exile another target non-land permanent. If you controlled it, return to the battlefield. Otherwise, its controller creates a detective token. That's the 2/2 white. So interesting piece of removal. It's 5 mana exile of non-land permanent. It's kind of slow. If you have a way to bounce it, you can reuse it over and over and over again. So could do a thing. It just doesn't do a lot, in my opinion. So I kind of didn't talk about it. Theoretically, in a Luris deck, you can cast this from the graveyard for its cloak cost, or its disguise, the initial 3 cost. And then you can flip it, and then if it gets sacked, you can do it again and again and again in Luris. But it's not horrible, but it's also not great enough, in my opinion. There's better removal.
Okay. Are there any other white cards you guys want to discuss before we move on? It's like Leonins that are just cats. Hold up.
Oh, yeah.
Leonins are just cats, though. I knew that one. Something about Loxodon tripped me, though, because they looked very distinctly different from... Well, I mean, I guess that's true of Leonins, too.
Yeah.
But you know what? To me, a cat is just
cats with a job, Patrick.
Cats... Is that how Wizards explains it in like media? I don't know.
No.
I haven't gone to press kit in a while, but imagine like they're trying to explain it to like non-Magic people. Like they just like, rope in a celebrity to talk about the game, and they're like, yeah, it's like an elephant, but it's an elephant with a job. That's it stands on 2 feet, and it's not a quadruped anymore. Does this make sense? It's a not lazy form of an elephant. Yeah.
Every single Leonin is like a cat cleric, a cat rebel, a cat warrior, a cat like soldier.
I gotta say, if you're into furries, there's some good ones out there. Anyways, moving on to blue. Will, why would you say that? Jeez, what the fuck, dude? God,
hold up. I have a perfect gift to send you on Discord, Patrick, because I constantly use this for my one friend, and I can use it for you.
Wait, you're not going to send me a folder with cat images, are you?
No. Just take a look on Discord, and you'll see what I sent you.
Those will also be made available on our OnlyFans, so get ready for the Leonin chat.
But yeah, long and short, I just sent Patrick one of those pre-set up Discord gifs that just says furry moment, and it's a guy suplexing a furry.
Oh, okay. Okay, it's on NSFW though, right? I can show the audience.
It's not. It's literally just a guy going like boom to a guy in a fluffy suit.
Anyways, I don't know. We're getting off the rails here. Can you discount the cloak cost? Can you cast the cloak for less if you have a discount effect?
I believe so. The flipping itself, you have to pay the actual cost, but for the 3, you can reduce that, I believe.
Not discussed, but having another 4 mana board is nice. Like difference between rocks and rhino. Name all of the subtypings that aren't subtypings in Magic the Gathering, people. So we've got rocks, we've got Loxodon with cream cheese, everything bagel, delicious. We've got Leonin.
I have subtypings that shouldn't be subtypings as another cotangent.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
say it before we go to blue.
The long and short is like, okay, orcs. Orcs is a subtype that should not have existed because literally in Lord of the Rings they say like, oh, what's the difference between orcs and goblins? Tall. That's one. So
height?
like, what's the height.
Just
that's
height?
it. Height.
Wow.
And then it's like, oh,
some weird classism. That's odd.
Another weird one is we have warriors, we have soldiers, and then we have knights. And then we also have samurais. And it's like, what are all these things? a guy with weapon fighting.
But isn't there
Like-
also like isn't there a term for sellswords in this game too? Like I think there's a card called sellsword. Not warrior. It's like mercenary. Mercenary.
Yeah,
But, like, I
mercenary
mean-
is an old keyword, or an
Isn't
old
like a-
creature type that existed.
Isn't like
It's-
a Ronin a form of samurai that's a mercenary, like a gun for hire or a sword for hire?
Exactly.
And then like a samurai is loyal to a particular family or household or something.
Yeah,
I,
so it's like,
um,
yeah, we got like 5 creature types that it's like, yeah, no, this is a guy that fights, but in a slightly different way.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Well, no, it's because his principles are different, Will. Okay. There is a difference.
Yeah, but then you could do like samurai, knight, and soldier all in one. Then you can do warrior and mercenary in the other one, and then
Ooh,
you're fine.
I would love to see an elf ooze samurai warrior mercenary soldier.
I want there to be a card that's like weapons dealer now, and it's just like a human warrior, samurai, soldier, knight, like just the guy that's carrying like 2 million swords on his back and has like a knife and
That'd
like
be
a hammer
kind of
in his
sick,
hand.
actually. Oh, shit. I'm just thinking of like, okay, so we're moving. I swear to God, we're moving on. But I mean, we're basically describing Changeling, so you could just play that. Human Rebel Mercenary Warrior. My Insect Commander deck will have Phyrexian Swarmlord, weird creature type. Human Rebel is also in there. Thank you. All right, so my first blue card. Moving on to blue. Damn, 47 minutes in. I promise we'll get there, people. I hope you're enjoying the stream. If you're enjoying the stream, leave it a like. Treat yourself. It's right under the picture. Bottom right. Anyways, sorry, that was a really slow transition. As far as dispersal, just give me a second, okay? 2 generic and a blue. Instant speed. The spell costs 2 less to cast if it targets an attacking creature. It doesn't have to be one you control or your opponent controls. It could be any attacking creature. Return target creature to its owner's hand. Surveil 2. So what I like about this card is that it's, in most instances, you would want to use this. A 1 blue to return a creature to its owner's hand, plus the added benefit of surveilling 2. Is that great? Maybe your deck is utilizing its grave, so it is great. I like it a lot. It's just a good way to, like, obviously you'd rather, what's like snap? You would rather like snap your dockside or something. But if you have something that's like board locked and you want to get the leverage its ETB again, this is kind of a cool way to double down on that effect. Like you just swing with your dockside into their Crom and they're like, what are you doing? And they're like, don't worry about it, I've got a plan. And you Afar's Dispersal and you have dockside main phase 2. You get what I'm saying. Any ETB creature that this is going to be useful, or maybe you go for the Thassa's Win and you fail and you don't have another way to duplicate the effect, like a Fimage or something like that, you could swing, bounce it to hand, surveil 2. It's just another bounce. Is it a good one? No. Are people going to make space for it? No. But you probably pulled it during pre-release, so good on you.
Unsummon is unsummon. Let's go.
Surveil 2, sir.
Yeah, it will unsummon with funny scry.
Yeah, it's notable because it's going to be 1 and it also has Surveil 2. And look, I didn't say it was good. Did I not preface? Moving on. All right, so I'm bringing this card up because it has my favorite keyword. We haven't seen this since Bitter Ordeal. Holy shit, we have Gravestorm again. My god, thank you. What took us so long to get here? 2 generic and a blue, sorcery speed. I'll tell you what Gravestorm does in a second. Investigate. Pat, you want to spend 3 mana to investigate? It doesn't even get a cost reduction for you attacking with a crit. No, you have Gravestorm. When you cast this spell, copy it for each permanent card put into a graveyard from the battlefield this turn. So Bitter Ordeal is... they're both outlets. You're not really using Bitter Ordeal, typically. There are other Storm cards that just get the job done better, sadly. Although I still like Bitter Ordeal, if you've never seen Bitter Ordeal. I just like that we're seeing Gravestorm again, because I think that it's such a cool keyword and we should see it more often. I think that it's a fantastic keyword that works really well in certain lists. So especially Blacklist, but any list that's going to do like the Leonin Relic Water Animate Dead line of play, if you don't have your what am I trying to say? there's a word for it, aristocrat. Your aristocrat gets blown up. You're not able to do the life loss, life gain, or however you implement it. You can use this from your hand, and because you're making copies of it, the only thing that will stop you is a mind break trap, right? Exile all spells on the stack. I think that's probably it, but like you've likely only done animate dead on this turn, right? You animate dead the Leonin Relic Water, you entombed off turn. So you're good. I just really like this effect. They're both sorcery speed, which seems fair. I feel like Gravestorm at instant would be nutty, and I cannot wait to see that card. There are 2 cards in the game with Gravestorm. This is one of them. It's an outlet. Will, thoughts? I mean, I think like most of the lines of play that would manipulate Gravestorm are probably making you infinite mana anyways, so you'll have infinite clue tokens and you'll draw your deck.
Yeah, the one thing from that card that I think is really dumb, the clues build up your Gravestorm. So if you recast this again from the graveyard or something, you're getting significantly more clues the next time around.
Mm-hmm.
It is a really cool effect. I don't know how great it is, but I did look at that, and I think I didn't add it, but I was really, really, really tempted to add it. Also, I was looking, and I was like, why the crap can I not find Ifara's Dispersal on the thing? Because I was looking through it over and over and over again. The reason I couldn't find it, I was looking at the new cards. Ifara's Dispersal is a reprint.
I'm sorry, was it a reprint?
It was a reprint.
Oh, fuck off.
I was looking at the new things, and I'm like, why is that not there? Did Scryfall mess up? They just looked through everything, and then I looked at Ifara's Dispersal, and I'm like, oh, wait, yeah, this is printed in...
Was it printed in like the
machines?
I just want to say, I did my due diligence, okay? I tried to check these things. We can't all be perfect like you, okay? Like Will.
I mean...
I definitely missed that fact though. So
to be fair, we've had shorts and stuff where I recommended a card that was a reprint and I did not know it was a reprint because I thought I've never seen the card before, like the Convoke deal 4 damage thing.
God, guys, the C in EDH on this channel is casual. Truth is out. I'm sorry, I failed you. But you know what you can do to help us not make these mistakes in the future?
Like and subscribe.
We need the motivation. Use the link in the description. Buy Follow the Bodies. Okay. Anyways, I'm sorry. Carry on. We've got one final card from me for you, and it is adjacent Follow the Bodies. Thank God we don't have to go that far. Final Word Phantom. So I actually really like this card for a lot of reasons. But again, just to reference, amazing flavor text. Again, please let us know what your favorite cards are for the flavor text in the comments. I would love to just look over them at the end of this video. But just one more thing. Flash, flying. During each opponent's end step, you may cast spells as though they had flash. Take that. Take that. What is that one card that one guy likes? Vidalcan Orrery.
Yeah, Josh Lee Quiet pushed Vidalcan Orrery so hard.
I know, and I'm kidding, Josh Lee. You're never going to watch this, but if you do, thoughts on Final Word Phantom? I feel like this is a really good card. Obviously, Vidalcan Orrery is not limited to just the end step, but I feel like at Flash, being able to manipulate this before your next turn and just having that opportunity is amazing. Or even if you have the solution that can win on end step, being able to flash this out and just win on someone else's end step is such a cool thing to do. But I think the utility is amazing here. I think it's absolutely amazing. I think that this is going to be more of an incremental value thing than winning the game in most instances, but I do like it quite a bit. And I think 3CMC, again, is the sweet spot for most CDH players. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's the start of a joke right there. But I don't have it. I'm sorry. But you know what I mean? I feel like we sort of cap at 3. So here you go. If you're playing CDH, this one's CDH friendly.
So the one thing I hate about this card, and this is only a specific thing for me, I wish this said you may cast spells as though they had flash on end steps. Because then I would 100% run this in Zur.
Nimrus loves this. Final Word Phantom.
Yeah. It's a good card. Like Nimrus, or not Nimrus, but Final Word Phantom works in a lot of decks.
Nimrus is not a good card.
No, yeah, screw Nimrus. Nimrus is actually pretty good. But
Okay.
Final Word Phantom is good in a lot of different decks. I'm probably running it in Arkham,
Okay.
but yeah, it's a pretty good card. It doesn't work in the one deck I really wanted it to work for, but it works in a lot of other decks. If you want to run a Born Upon a Wind in certain decks, you probably want to run Final Word Phantasm, or Final Word Phantom. Why do I keep saying Phantasm? Final Word Phantom in those decks as well. It's just another good generic blue card that you can run for safety's sake.
All right, well, what's the safe word on this episode?
Banana.
Or Kibbo. It'll switch every other. All right, well, that's it for blue cards that I liked. I probably missed a thing or two, but please let me know. Jaded Analyst, did I just straight up miss Jaded Analyst?
Hold up.
Okay, don't look at Jaded. Don't read it. Don't even read it.
Jaded Analyst. No, Jaded Analyst is not worth it. But first I want to go with Case of the Ransacked Lab. This is a really interesting card. It's a 2 and a blue for a case that says instants and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. So it's cost reduction. It's pretty nice to start. Solve. Cast 4 or more instant or sorcery spells this turn. Once again, pretty good. Finally, solved. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, draw a card. God. So ignoring the fact that this is just cost reduction, which is really good in decks like Orvar and that kind of thing, because Orvar would probably want to run this card just for the very first line. But on top of that, if you ever solve this, all of your counter spells are cantrips, all of your tutors are cantrips, everything is a cantrip on top of its own effect. Your cantrips are double cantrips. This card just goes nuts. I still need to look up the rulings on how solving works very specifically.
If solve at the beginning of your end step. If unsolved, solve at the beginning of your end step.
I believe that's if you met the condition at the beginning of your end step. If this isn't solved, solve it. Part of the thing with this is I think that you have to cast all the instants and sorceries on your turn, and then it will solve on your end step. If you cast 4 more on an opponent's turn, then you don't get there because
at the beginning of your end step. Yeah.
I'll have to look up the rulings on how it works specifically. Either way, this is a really good card.
Okay. So you're advising our audience to ransack a laboratory.
Indeed. Just go to like your local college. They probably have like some kind of chemistry lab in there. Just start breaking things. Nothing could possibly go wrong.
Go full on Breaking Bad. You saw how it worked for Walter White.
Exactly.
Yeah, you guys are fine. All right. Next case, Will. What you got for us?
Well, my next card is Conspiracy Unraveler, and this is only in here because this is a really good Unesh card.
I like that Unesh is on our radar after having played it once on the channel.
Yeah.
Is the Unesh player who suggested Unesh in the live chat? Please, hi, let us know.
But yeah, Conspiracy Unraveler is 7 mana for a Sphinx Detective with 6 power, 6 toughness, and flying. And says you may collect 10 evidence rather than pay the cost for spells. So Conspiracy Unraveler is an omniscience, but you have to exile stuff to cast stuff. The reason why this is really good in Unesh is Unesh just factor fictions like 20 cards into the graveyard constantly.
Yeah.
So you have a full grave. You have Sphinxes that you want to play. You just hard cast everything. And this is 5 mana in Unesh because Unesh reduces its cost by 2. You go off very easily.
I dig it. I actually do dig it. I dig the art, and I like the card quite a bit. Oh shit, it even got like a little case file.
Yeah, because I think they did that for the not legendary, the mythics. A lot of the mythics have the case files.
Invariably reaches the correct conclusion, cannot be rushed. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry, you guys, this is way too close for you guys. Unesh who? I can't believe you had to ask that.
God bless you.
Yeah. This Unesh. Don't worry, it's CDH. Don't worry. Trust me, I got there. No fast mana. turn. When did I Unesh? When did I
I think this
Unesh?
is like turn 4-ish.
I had like the slowest Unesh, and yet it's still. I don't know.
Yeah.
Look for that episode, I guess. It was a suggested stream for FNM. Doesn't matter. Any rate, yeah, Conspiracy Unravel. Nothing to add.
Well, my next card is, where are you, friend? Forensic Gadgeteer. So this is a card that when it got spoiled, everybody kind of lost their minds a little bit. Because this is 2 and a blue for a 2/3 creature, Vidalcan,
I'm an
Artificer,
idiot.
Detective.
Sorry. No. I'm gonna find it one day. I think I just missed it. There you go.
And then whenever you cast an artifact, investigate, which is already a really good effect because you're probably running this in Urza because you're just making a bunch of artifact tokens. You're probably running this in a couple other decks that care to try to storm off, maybe Joyra, something like that. But then, that's not it, because on top of that, activated abilities of artifacts you control cost 1 less to activate. This effect cannot reduce the mana value less than 1.
Not playable. I'm sorry.
Just, this card is so dumb. Because the first part would have been good enough to make this card playable. The second part gives you a Basalt Monolith infinite mana line, which is really good for Urza. So you have another good infinite mana combo in Urza, while also getting clues for Urza to make more mana in Urza and draw cards in Urza, which has already been the bottleneck for Urza for so long. And on top of that, you're just making artifact fodder in general for every other artifact deck that wants it, and drawing cards and making it so all of your clues crack for 1 mana instead of 2.
Can I just say, I love Vulcan Baga. This art looks like it was something that was meant to go in an unset, and then it just didn't fit the brief, or it just didn't make its way in. Am I wrong? Like, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on with this art, but this is the most Inspector Gadget looking detective, I think, from the set. Sorry. Everything Will said is accurate. I have nothing to add on the card's effects. It's extremely good. Yes, Basalt Monolith combo. Yes. To the chat. There's no reason you shouldn't play Forensic Gadgeteer.
Yeah,
if you're
card is,
utilizing...
pretty good.
I don't even know, like, so any artifact-centric list, are you going to run this in your, what's his name? Blue guy?
Arkham.
No, you don't need it.
Yeah, if it was that it makes like Thopter tokens or something, I might run it in Arkham, but I don't need a thing that makes artifact tokens. I need artifact creature tokens for Arkham.
You have any? Yeah, you have any?
Any more?
Yeah, sorry.
Cards? I got I believe one. Yeah, it's one more, and it's Lost in the Maze, also known as Sleet Hook.
Lost in the Maze?
Yeah,
Wait, someone said Cloudstone Curio, but let me look at Lost in the Maze.
Oh yeah, Cloudstone Curio to just make infinite clues. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Potentially, right?
What are you talking about? What are the cards?
No, because you can't bounce artifact. Why?
I don't know why you'd suggest Cloudstone Curio, Mike.
Yeah, not sure. Yeah, not sure about Cloudstone Curio, actually. I don't know why. Yeah, it doesn't work with artifacts.
Well, I'm lost in the maze.
Lost in the Maze. So, this is X blue for an enchantment with Flash. ETB, tap X creatures and put stun counters on each creature you don't control that was tapped this way. Then, tap creatures you control have hexproof. So, this is just a thing that you can pay for 2, and then your tapped creatures have hexproof, which is really good in a bunch of different decks just to protect your things.
Mm-hmm.
In addition, you can use this to tap down your opponent's stuff and stun them, which is also pretty good. An interesting card in general. If it hit non-land permanents, then I'd probably like this a little bit more. However, it's still really good as a protection piece that can also kind of slow down or remove stuff. Yeah, it's good. Also, it's the next step in the Meat Hook cycle. So we got Meat Hook Massacre, Heat Hook Massacre, and now we got Sleet Hook Massacre because it's a freeze effect.
I'm going to say it's not comparable to those two.
Well, it's an enchantment that costs X that affects all creatures for X.
I know. I'm just saying, I don't know if I like it as much as those two.
Yeah, one isn't a win con, the other is occasional treasure generation, and this is like a bit of protection. I agree, but also they should not
Well,
have made the blue one as
I,
good as the
yeah,
others because blue's fine.
counter everything on the stack. Your things have hexproof. Yeah, no. I am gonna amend that statement. I like that they took Sleet Hood Massacre and were chill with it, because
Yeah,
normally they don't know how to be chill with blue.
yeah,
Like our last card.
so many people thought that the blue meat hook was going to be, oh yeah,
Bounce.
just casually bounce X creatures and draw a card whenever a creature is bounced. That's what
No.
people thought it was going to be, and they're like,
Wizards entered the
no,
chat and they're
please.
like, no, that's a stupid idea.
Yeah.
Anyway, here we go. Lost in the Maze, guys. Get ready for green and white.
I want to say this is going to be a miserable card in Casual because if you play this in OG Atraxa, you tap all of your opponent's creatures and put infinite stun counters on them so they never untap.
That's it's pretty mean, my guy.
Yeah, it's
Is
going to
that
be miserable.
is
But
that worse than a board wipe? Not really.
not really, but it's just a really dumb and annoying thing that you can do.
Okay. What else you got for blue? And I'll defer to the audience as well. Are there any blue cards we missed?
That would be it for my blue list because you covered the few other ones that I liked.
Yeah. All right, yeah, let us know, guys. I don't have a banana to eat for you as a timer, so you're on the clock, guys. You only have us for so long. Are there any
It's
blue
okay,
cards?
Patrick. I have popcorn.
All right, as soon as Will is done eating 3 pieces of popcorn. Oh shit, he's doing it by the mouthful. That's it right
No,
there.
we're doing like three grips.
Okay, so that's one. Are there any blue cards you want us to discuss, really? Because I'm trying to load up your TCG player cart. If you haven't hit $100, then I'm not doing my job. Link in the description. How many is that for you, Will?
That's 2 so far. I got one more.
All right, I'm ready to move on. You got one more? Make it slow. Make it slow for that. Yeah, that's right. That's right. And you're getting this for free. This is just a taste of what you might get on our OnlyFans. I've never been on OnlyFans. I have no idea how it works. Did you see that story about the mom who drives her son to school and the school asked her to like park nowhere near the school because she has an OnlyFans account?
I've
But
not seen that.
But specifically because she's advertising for her OnlyFans on their car, and it's like overt. So like,
Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I agree with the school there.
I know. So at first when I heard about the story, I'm like, man, this is pretty like bad on the school. Like, why would they do this to this mom? Like, the mom is literally just trying to take her son to school. But the story, it gets even worse too. Like, they make her park away from the building because they don't want this advertising blatantly in front of the school where there's children. But she also demanded that they have faculty walk her son to the school from her car because she doesn't want to do that. She's trying to push that responsibility on them. It's just like, I don't know. It feels like a trash thing to do. I just like, take the minivan, take your other car. Anyway.
Yeah.
I really like Illicit Masquerade, the Black Enchantment. Well, that's not blue, Mike. I'm sorry. We'll start with Illicit Masquerade, though. Shit.
Yeah, we can do that.
How about that? Thank you for taking us there, man. Masquerade, many faces on parade.
I saw this card. I don't think I had it on my list, but when I saw it, I think I liked it a bit. So, Illicit Masquerade. 3 and a black for an enchantment with flash. When this enters the battlefield, put an imposter counter on each creature you control. Whenever a creature you control with an imposter counter on it dies, return up to one other target creature card from your graveyard onto the battlefield. This is like a, what is it? Thrilling Encore. This is like Thrilling Encore, but reversed. Weirdly enough. You're gonna start drinking now instead of eating the banana. So
people like seeing the throat move.
Usually what people will do is sack their whole board, cast Thrilling Encore as an instant to reanimate their whole board, then keep going. With this, it's the exact opposite, where you play this, then start sacking your creatures and reanimating stuff, and you just you sack your worst creature or your best creature, and then you reanimate something random from your graveyard. Then you go best to worst, and then you keep your worst creature in your graveyard, but have a different thing replacing it, and you just sack your whole board, get your whole board back, more or less. It's good. It's another one of those reanimate your whole board effects. I like it.
I like it too.
I completely forgot to add this on my list, but I probably would have added this on my list if I remembered that it existed.
Mike, thank you. I only added 2. Will, I'm going to let you go over this first one. Barbie doll?
Sure, yeah, we can talk about Barbie doll because apparently I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world, wrapped in freaking metal shards, something something.
That's a pretty. This is like heavy metal Barbie. I actually kind of dig it.
I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world.
Have they done that version yet?
Yeah, there have been bands who have done heavy metal Barbie girl.
Or like the Mattel. Did they? It doesn't matter. We'll look later.
Yeah. But so Barbed Servitor. To sum up this card, indestructible. When it enters, it's suspected, and then whenever this deals combat damage to a player, draw a card, lose a life. Whenever this is dealt damage, target opponent loses that much life. So that last effect in the indestructible, it basically makes this a stuffy doll because this is Barbed Servitor. I've heard a couple people offhandedly refer to this as Barbie doll.
We did not come up with it. I wish I could take the credit, but
yeah. But the meme that I was able to do is just like, oh yeah, combo off, because even though the last effect doesn't do combat damage, it sure does psychological damage when you play Barbie Girl while burning everything to the ground.
So what are the cards you need for this stream to come true, Will?
So you just need an A plus B plus any way of having this take damage. And okay. I can't remember the exact cards. I can pull up the script actually.
Okay.
Because spoilers, this is going to be a short later.
It's true.
But the idea is that you just need an effect that says when X takes damage, it deals X damage to something else. And for this, there we go. The cards that you can use are either Blazing Sunsteel, which is an equipment that says when the equipped creature takes damage, it does that much damage to a target, and it can target itself. And then the other one is Howlpack Avenger, which is the backside of another card. And Howlpack Avenger is the backside, says when a permanent you control takes damage, it does that much damage to any target. So both of those basically just say when Barbed Servitor does damage, it does damage to Barbed Servitor. And you do that again and again and again and again. It's just, why are you hitting yourself while also just punching everybody else around you? But yeah. That is the long and short of Barbie doll.
All right, so you get there, kind of. It's a little bit of work. That's not bad. Dogged Detective. Okay. My other card. Again, I didn't get that many for black, but I'm willing to bet Will covered all the ground that I'm missing. Or you guys can cover the rest of the ground. You know, that's why we pay you. But Long Goodbye. Tell me if this is good or not, Will. I think it's okay. For a generic and a black, the spell can't be countered. Destroy target creature or planeswalker with mana value 3 or less.
I had this in my list because it's good enough.
Yeah, I think it's good enough. Obviously, you know, don't you want the uncounterable thing at 1 black? Don't be a little brat. You think CDH is easy? You need to pay mana for good effects, okay? So I think 2 CMC for an uncounterable destroy that Oko is fair. Not that Oko's used that often, but I mean, it hits pretty much all of those nuisance creatures, the 3 and under stacks creatures from Archon Emiria all the way down to Kibbo. Yeah.
I will say, is this worse Abrupt Decay? 100%. But this is still good enough because Abrupt Decay is just good enough.
You gotta be in green? Ugh. Sorry. Am I wrong? Is Abrupt Decay not Golgari, Will?
It is. You're correct. Right.
Then
I agree.
Is it really
to be in green? Green sucks, gang gang.
This sounds like a better Abrupt Decay, in my opinion. I'm no good at goodbyes, yeah, especially long ones. I get that. Yeah, I gotta say the flavor for this set has been on point. Like 10 out of 10. Wizards, good job. You put your money in some of the right places. Will,
can I just say this is in no way a long goodbye? It's a pretty short goodbye. Oh, sup, Drainus? Get the fuck out of here.
Well, as the days grew longer, so did the list of missing persons. Yeah, it's funny, but this is actually kind of the opposite of it. This is a short goodbye. Yeah. Because there's no talking back to this person. You're just like shh. No. Shut the fuck up. You're dead. You just like cut them
Why?
off.
That sounds like you're playing like or that you're doing a reenactment and you shoot somebody and they're talking while playing dead. It's like, you're dead. You're dead. Shut up.
You're ruining it. You're ruining it for everyone.
The immersion.
All right. Will, let's continuing the immersion of this amazing set review.
I have 2 black cards that you did not cover, and you can probably guess one because this is another one that I scripted out. One is Case of the Stashed Skeleton. This card is weird but good enough. So I can name it off the top of my head actually. It is 1 in a black, and it is ETB. You make a skeleton and it becomes the suspect. Then this solved solution, control no skeletons that are suspected.
Yeah.
And then the solved reward is you can pay 1 to black, sacrifice this, and tutor. You can only do it at instance or sorcery speed.
That lead pipe is also in the game, by the way. Continue. I just noticed the lead pipe it's holding is like an equipment in the game. Anyways.
Yeah. So, Case of the Stashed Skeleton. Is it a 4-mana tutor? Yes. Is it a 4-mana tutor with a requirement to actually tutor for it? Yes. Why the crap would you want to play it? Only because of the fact that it's a enchantment that you can search up with Zur that tutors for ad nauseum. If you wanted to build a Zur Turbo Naz deck, this kind of makes it possible.
Yeah.
That is the
Are you gonna run it? Are you gonna run it in your Zur?
No, because I'm doing specifically Necropodes. I think that you do it as an addition for Naz things. I could run it. I don't think I want to run it.
Okay. That's fair.
I honestly,
I like
I might run it just as another backup line because it's not like I have to change my deck at all to run it. I just have it in there.
Is Delny and Zur? Do you trigger it twice? Wait,
no, you don't care about that.
Well, no. How big is Zur?
Zur 1/4. You do get double triggers in Zur and Delny. You do Delny in Stack Zur 100%, but you don't do Delny in Turbo Zur.
Delny, best card from the set. Let's go, 2024. All right, what else you got for me from?
Well, if I remember correctly, we had a pretty fun Rakdos commander that came out about 2 sets ago called Rowan. And one thing that we really wanted from Rowan was some nice big X cost spells to take advantage of that. Mm-hmm. So my next card is
I like them nice and big.
Outrageous Robbery.
Oh yeah, I saw this.
This card is hilarious and gross, and I love it and hate it simultaneously. Outrageous Robbery. X, black for an instant, mind you. Target opponent exiles the top X cards of their library face down. You may look at and play those cards as long as they remain in exile. If you cast a spell this way, you may spend mana as though it was mana of any color. So, if you can play this like 3 times, you deck everybody. So it's a win con if you have a way of replaying it, like Underworld Breach or something. But on top of that, you can play this and you can just say like, oh yeah, you know how you have a deck? I'll take half of that, and I'm going to play all of your fast mana and try to do a combo. And if I hit your Underworld Breach, I'm winning the game.
It's kind of gross. In Rowan, in particular, I'm not sure.
I don't even hate this as just a kind of generic card, because if you have a way of making a good chunk of mana, you can use this for like 3 in response to someone top deck tutoring, and it's pretty nice. I don't think it's really insane outside of Rowan, but in Rowan, this is hilarious. It's Commune with Lava, but funny.
Does the audience know, does this robber have a name? Because a trot is in the flavor text. When you can't erase your own trail, leave as many false ones as possible. So I'm wondering, like, is this a main character we don't have yet? Because this guy looks like a douche, but I want to see him.
Well, Patrick, I just have to say, if we know his name, how good of a robber can he be?
That's true. This is true.
And who knows? That might be Lazov. I don't know. Let me check Lazov's art to see if he looks like Lazov. Let's see. Scroll down to multicolor. Where's Lazov? There you are. Does Lazov have a mustache or a beard? No, he does not. He's clean shaven. But to be fair, he's the weaver of faces, so maybe he gave himself a mustache temporarily.
Lazov? Oh, you think this is Lazov? With that cloak?
But I kind of doubt it. I think it's just a nameless guy.
No. There's a corpse in the back.
Oh yeah, true. He
Lazov
could have
might
ripped somebody's face off and then wore his face.
and he's exiling it from the graveyard.
Actually, yeah, I'll judge it off the clothes instead of off the face.
Because how close is this to Lazov? Because it also could be Jace the Mind Sculptor. Yeah, could you imagine if this was Jace? Honestly, I could see Jace doing that. Aged Popo?
Hold up, I think that's Lazov's cloak.
Shut up.
Hold up, yeah, like I honestly think that might be Lazov. Yeah, that's Lazov's cloak. That is Lazov. Oh my gosh, I kind of said that like half joking, half not. That is 100% Lazov.
Did we solve the case? Guys, breaking news. Lazov, wearer of faces, a shape-shifting detective, actually happens to be a burglar.
Happens to be a douche, according to Patrick.
Well, a douche
looks like a douche.
A douche I enjoy. Wait up, is that him? Okay, so I got the shoulder, the spalder,
the shoulder things.
Yeah,
the shoulder things. It's like he has the layered shoulder pads, and the guy in the outrageous robbery has.
I want to stress the cape or cloak is under the shoulder pads. It's under the shoulder pads, although it's the same style of art with every single Lazov. And you'll notice that the cloak is draped over. No, you can't see the other shoulder.
Well, if you look at the newest Lazov, it looks like the same shoulder pads and everything, and it might even be the same hoodie design. I'll have to do like a comparison really quick. Like I'm gonna pull up both together.
Lazov only wears champion hoodies, by the way. He's pretty broke right now.
All right, let's see. Open this in a new tab and let's get like as high a resolution of an image as I can muster. So let's see.
Was there another black card you want to look? Audience, is there another black card?
He also has he has the same greaves and everything as well. This is 100% Lazov. Does he have the same belt buckle too? Hold up.
Can you see this man's greaves? Will, get out of here.
Yeah, you can. You can. I'm like zooming in on the image to pull it up.
Do you mean is that the same belt buckle? What are you? Huh? What? Check alt art. Check the alt art.
For a Lazov or murder?
Huh.
Lazov or robbery. Oh, there's no alt art for robbery, but then the alt art of the other Lazov is not. Is it?
No, Lazov looks wooden in the alt art. There's two Lazovs.
But it's the thing is that he has the same bracers in as the robbery.
All right. Well, only the important stuff here on Local Game Group. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so long and short, this looks like it's Lazov potentially.
Yeah potentially. Any rate, black cards. Folks, what are your favorite black cards from Murders at Karlov Manor? Let us know. I'll go ahead and post a picture next to picture image of these two, and then you can tell me in the community tab. What the hell? I'll do it there. Do I do it there? Whatever. We'll see. Maybe I do it. Is this Robert Lazov? The funny thing is, why does he break the mirror for no reason? Why not just rob that mirror too?
Text.
Yeah, he's leaving false trails, people. Also, Lazov can't bear to look at himself because he doesn't have his own face on. Do you get what I'm saying? You feel me? I don't know. Maybe there's some sort of existential crisis going on. At any rate, I think that's it for black. Unless you guys want to look at one more card, but we can keep talking about Lazov is the outrageous robber if you want. I want it to be a thing pretty badly, but I don't think we're.
I mean, so we also have the one thing, because who is the character that's whole job is to try to find out who Lazov's real identity is? Somebody brought that up on a previous stream that there's a character that's the whole thing.
Is it Kellen?
No, it's not Kellen. It's a character that's from this plane. It was brought up during the legendary tier list. One of the legendaries was somebody whose whole thing is that they want to find out who Lazov really is behind the mask.
I don't know. I like the Wither Girl in Scarab God. I like the Wither Girl in Scarab God? You mean Masker Girl?
Oh, Masker Girl?
What?
Or is it
like you don't, like Abzo doesn't know who Massacre Girl is. We all know.
There's some other thing that people brought up as like a fun thing with Scarab God.
All right, I'll look at Massacre Girl really quick, but yeah, we can move on after this one. Massacre Girl, known killer, 2 generic, double black, human assassin, 4/4 body, Manache. Creatures you control have Wither. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, if its toughness was less than 1, draw a card.
Oh, I think I remember who it was. Yeah, Mirko. Mirko is trying to find out who Lazov was.
Oh, that's kind of dope. So like you've got Orzhov, you've got Demir on Demir violence. It's got to find out. I wish the flavor text sort of laid that out. But all right, moving on to red, folks. And boy, do I have some good ones for you. These are all the cards you're going to want to buy.
Apparently, a really
set.
broken, insane combo that I somehow missed that's going to completely flip CDH on its head, right, Patrick?
Not this one.
Ah.
Connecting the dots. For generic and a red, enchantment. Whenever a creature you control attacks, exile the top card of your library face down. Pay a generic and a red. Discard your hand. Sacrifice connecting the dots. Put all cards exiled with connecting the dots into their owner's hands. So this is not too unlike a couple of cards that do this. I think the one I can think of is from Kaladesh. It's a red creature. It's like a red artifact creature that does a very similar thing. This is just good in lists that go wide. Basically, it gives you a whole new outlook on life. And it's also letting you discard your hand, which is useful for Underworld Breach piles, which you happen to be in red. This is just another utility for that. Is it costly? Yeah. But ultimately, it's an investment that you should be willing to make.
All I got to say is, how could I have missed it? The answer's right in front of me.
Is it Lazov?
No.
No.
The answer's right in front of me all along.
I bought a playset of this yesterday at SCG Con. Damn it.
By the way,
Sorry.
I was reading the flavor text, Patrick.
No, I saw.
Yeah.
I just want to point at everything and ask if it's Lazov, because it technically could be.
Is it Lazov? It could be. You don't know.
That's actually Wizards equivalent to is it cake? Like, is it Lazov? And you're just supposed to knife it to see if it like shapes back into Lazov. Any rate,
I will say for connecting the dots, interesting in Nagila and interesting in Winota.
Yeah, there you go. Get yourself a fresh hand. Get yourself a fresh hand, folks. All right, Will, I'll let you break down the combo for this next card. I'll let you break down the combos for the other two, but in case you guys haven't solved the case yet. Crime Novelist, 2 generic and a red. Goblin Bard, 1/3 Bade. Whenever you sacrifice an artifact, put a 1/1 counter on Crime Novelist, add a red. Stop telling me about Dockside Extortionist. I'm not interested. I get it. Will, is there more, though? Is there more to the story?
Well, you see, there's a fun little card called Animation Module, and this card says that whenever a creature you control gets a +1/+1 counter on it, you may pay 1 mana, which, oh, look at that, Crime Novelist does both. You create a 1/1 servo. So you get an artifact. Whenever you sacrifice an artifact to get 1 mana and a +1/+1 counter on Crime Novelist. So you're getting an infinitely big Crime Novelist and infinite sacks. Yeah, any altar win the game, Goblin Bombardment win the game, KCI get all that mana. Pretty good. It's a 3-card combo, but it's using a sack outlet that you probably want to run anyways, Crime Novelist, which is just really good in a lot of random case scenarios, and then Animation Module, which is kind of useless, but good enough. Because it's 1 mana, it's not going to hurt you. You can play it. It's fine.
I like it.
Yeah, Crime Novelist is a good card.
You know the combo that you missed, Will? That is better than Crime Novelist? We'll look at it in a second.
All right.
We'll keep the mystery alive. That's right. We got Lamplight Phoenix. Lamplight Phoenix, again, I'll let you can go through the combo. You wrote a script on this one.
Yeah, Lamplight Phoenix. So Lamplight Phoenix says, whenever it dies, you can collect 4 evidence to reanimate this tapped. It's a 3-mana 3/3 Phoenix with flying. Reason why this is really good, Altar of Dementia. Sacrifice a creature, mill cards equal to its power, and then, yeah. With Lamplight Phoenix, you sacrifice Lamplight Phoenix, exile 4 CMC worth of cards from your graveyard, and reanimate Lamplight Phoenix, then you mill 3 off of the altar, resolving. If you have a high enough CMC in your deck, roughly average cost of 1.3, you should be able to go through your entire deck, find some kind of way to get Underworld Breach back from your deck, and then win the game, or any other thing, reanimate the Oracle, there's different ways. This is just kind of the red equivalent of Basalt Monolith Mesmeric Orb. Lamplight Phoenix is something that you can use as sack fodder for a bunch of different things, so it's just an okay card in general. Altar of Dementia is another card that's generally pretty good, so it runs two pieces that aren't really dead cards in any scenario. It's cool. It's another Underworld Breach setup card.
All right, well, so I'm going to let, while the audience tries to solve the case, what red cards do you have to discuss, Will?
Well, I have, I think, one that you didn't cover. No, I have two, my bad. So, I'll start off with another case card, and it's Case of the Crimson Pulse.
Ooh.
So, it's 2 in a red. When this enters the battlefield, you may discard a card and then draw 2. You discard a card and draw 2 cards. To solve, go Hellbent. Then, for the solved benefit, at the beginning of your upkeep, discard your hand and draw 2 cards. This is just a net 2 cards in those fast decks that want to just play out everything really quickly. You might run this in Rog Tevish, you might run this in a couple other decks. Any deck that you say, I just want to blast out my hand, good. Pretty good.
Until someone makes you draw a card before your end step.
Well, it doesn't care that you have no cards in your hand during your end step. It just cares that you have no cards in hand at some point during the turn.
If unsolved, solve at the beginning of your end step. Really?
You just have to meet the condition on that turn. As far as I know. I could be wrong on that because I haven't looked up all the rulings for the case. But as long as you met the condition at some point during the turn, then it solves.
Abzo says Lamplight, Phyrexian Altar, Dargo?
So, theoretically...
yeah,
for Phyrexian Altar, because you can keep exiling Dargo to Lamplight, getting Dargo back into the command zone, and then you net a mana every time by doing that. Yeah, that is definitely another combo you can do. Didn't think about that, but yeah, Dargo will pay for the Lamplight every single time.
And he calls himself a Dargo Thrasios player.
Oh, I'm not running this in Dargo Thrasios. I'm not running like Phyrexian Altar or Lamplight in that deck.
Okay.
You just use Dargo for Neoform. But for Dargo Silas, for Dargo Keskit, you probably run it. I think that's a good combo to run.
All right, Will, what's your final card?
Well, my final card is Demand Answers, because this is just a better version of cards that have existed in a while.
Okay.
Demand Answers is 1 in a red for an instant that says discard a card or sacrifice an artifact. Then you draw 2 cards. That's just better, what's it called? Tormenting Voices? Better, whatever the other examples of that are, because it's just discard a card, draw 2 at instant speed, but also you can sack an artifact instead if you have a bad artifact in play or an artifact token you don't care about. It's 2 mana, draw 2 in a lot of scenarios. It's just good.
Doesn't sound bad. But you know what sounds better? All right, guys, put on your detective caps. We're about to solve the case together. I issued a case to be solved, which everyone failed. F minus for everyone. There's an A plus B combo that exists in this list, and no one gives a shit. No one talked about it. None of the other CDH channels. That's right, I watch every CDH channel. I know these things. Harry Dronesmith. For 3 generic and a red, Human Artificer, 2/3 body. At the beginning of combat on your turn, create a 1/1 colorless softer artifact creature token with flying. It gains haste until the end of turn. Sacrifice it at the beginning of your next end step. Will, what is the B of this combo?
You see, the worst part is I know what the combo is, and it kind of works, kind of doesn't.
You need another creature.
You
so
need
it is
a,
A plus B plus C. Okay, look, I get that, Will, but you've got your commander.
So you have a, what's it called? What, I can never, Breath of Fury? I think that's the name of the card.
That's right. It's part of our ASMR video.
But it is a enchantment aura that costs 4, and it says when the enchanted creature deals combat damage, you may sacrifice that creature, take an extra combat, untap all creatures you control, and then move this to another creature you control. So yes, you keep making Thopters, you keep attacking as long as those Thopters can connect, you go infinite. You need another creature to connect first to move it to the Thopter token that got made during combat. and you need to pay 8 mana for it. It is a little bit off, but it is a combo. It is indeed a combo.
Loyal Apprentice is better. Okay, I just want to point that the Loyal Apprentice does exist. I just want to state that there's another A plus B combo in the deck, and it is technically A plus B, but asterisks with a C. You'll have another creature to put the Breath of Fury on. Okay. All right.
That's such a small C that it doesn't really matter though. But
it's a small C. Thank you.
So you got a small C in that combo, Patrick.
Hey buddy, I don't know if you've taken into account the small C that's a part of your Harry Dronesmith combo.
I don't care too much about the small C, but I know a lot of people will focus on that small C.
Well, I think we cracked the case, detective, but there's one small C you overlooked. It's fine. I just want to point out that there's another combo in the set, okay? That's it. Indeed. All right. And one last one, Gearbane Orangutan. If you just gave him his banana, he would have been fine. Moving on. Any red cards you guys want to discuss? Poor Rograk? Maybe.
I'll break out my popcorn again.
Oh, yeah. Here. 3 gobbles of popcorn. We should just start incorporating food in this programming. I really think. We're going to move on to green in one more mouthful. So if there's anything else you guys want to discuss, speak now or forever hold your peace, because I will never return to this set. You know, all the compliments I gave it earlier, not interested. As soon
don't even care. Even holy moly.
Exactly. As soon as we start spoiling Fallout, that's it. I'm in full-on Bethesda mode. Give me that shitty... sorry. What is the game engine they use? I don't know. Maybe that's part of the Bethesda charm. But whatever. Actually, have you played Starfield yet, Will?
I have not.
Okay. I think my dad's playing it. I think he likes it. I'm good on it. I'm about to beat Cyberpunk, so I'm sticking with that. Was that 3 mouthfuls? Okay.
Yeah, that was 3 mouthfuls. We're good.
I put this in here because you like it, but red herring?
Well, yeah, true. Red herring is a card.
For a generic and a red. Clue. It's a clue.
Yeah.
It's a clue. 2/2 body.
Is it a clue or is it a red herring?
No, it's an actual. Well, I mean, it could be a red herring. Are you saying clue with an asterisk?
Oh, no. I'm making the joke of what a red herring is.
It attacks each combative fable. You can pay 2, sacrifice red herring to draw a card. Thopters are but one option in our suite of autonomous surveillance solutions. Kylox. Poor Kylox. All right. Pour one out for Kylox after the stream, folks. Thank you for that suggestion, Mike. You can buy your red herring over at TCG Player. Analyze the pollen. For a green, as additional cost to cast this spell, you may collect evidence 8. Okay, search your library for a basic land card. If evidence was collected, however, instead search your library for a creature or land card. That's right, any land card. Reveal that card, put it into your hand, then shuffle. It's another tutor. It's another tutor with a pretty high requisite cost, although I love Azoni, so happy to see her. I think that in certain lists that this is just going to work. Other lists, not so much. So it really depends. I know you have feelings on this.
Yeah, I think it's a good tutor. I don't think it's a great tutor. So it's definitely playable in a good handful of decks. I think it's best used in decks that have a kind of like A plus B combo that you want to find with a creature, or like A plus B plus C potentially. And on top of that, it's good just because of the fact that it can hit lands, it can hit creatures, and it will at worst find you a basic to kind of keep going and keep ramping. Getting to 8 evidence isn't impossible. It's not too hard, but it's best to do it in a deck where you can kind of pitch things in graveyard. So it's either in a deck where you want another creature tutor, or in a deck where you can fill your graveyard pretty easily.
Surveil.
Those are kind of the 2 decks that want to run it. I think it's a good tutor. I don't think it's a great tutor.
I think this is a great tutor, though. Skip collecting evidence and go straight to triple green territory with Archdruid's Charm. I don't know if I think that charm is charming. It's kind of like nefarious looking, but
it has like the teeth looking roots at the bottom.
Yeah, that's the bit that trips me up. You know, I don't really want my trees to have fangs. But instant speed. Choose one. Search your library for a creature or land card and reveal it. Shit. Thought you could get away with it, didn't you? Put it onto the battlefield tapped if it's a land card. Otherwise, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Well, I mean, if you're grabbing Gaia's Cradle, feels like a win-win, right? So it's virtually free in that instance, provided you have the bodies. You can put a plus one.
Put Gaia's Cradle into play tapped, so you can't tap it that turn.
Oh, I'm sorry. Never mind.
Unlike Analyze the Pollen, where it puts it to hand so you can play it immediately.
Oh, shit.
You know, it's so much better.
Sorcery speed made so much sense. Yeah. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. It deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. So it's a fight at instant speed. Well, not necessarily a fight, because fight would mean that they do damage to each other, right?
Yeah, it's a punch. People usually refer to that as a punch effect.
Okay. Exile target artifact or enchantment. A lot of those things I'd love to exile.
Yeah, right. There's one that I can think of that comes to mind pretty consistently. One that's quite ring shaped.
Yeah, it's a good card.
Yeah, generally good. It's removal. It's creature removal, artifact removal, enchantment removal, and a tutor. It's kind of everything that green wanted in one card.
Right. So my theory is, like, if you're complaining that people don't run enough interaction, well, you've got a great excuse, because tutors are primo in Commander, and you got that. You've got removal for 2 types of things. I love it. It's also a +1/+1 counter. So I mean, if you're using Agatha's Soul Cauldron, I don't know. Think about that.
The only thing that would have made this a better card in my eyes if it said for the second one, it may deal damage, or you may have it deal damage to, or it deals damage to up to 1 target creature you don't control. That way you can loop this, put infinite counters on your things, and just don't fight when you wipe your opponent's boards. But you have to have a target on an opponent's board to use this, meaning you can't loop it. That is the only very, very light downside on this card, but it's not that much of a downside because it's still a really good card.
Mateus says Archdruid's Charm is a trap.
I'll say that it's a good card in general, but if you're running like 4 colors, you probably don't run it. If you're running 5 colors, you definitely don't run it. If you're running 3 or less, you probably run it.
What do you think about this compared to another triple colored card like Necropotence?
I mean, if you're doing like a blind Necropotence or a blind Archdruid's Charm, they feel similar power level, if I'm being completely honest. If you're doing a build around, Necropotence blows it out of the water 100% of the time.
Okay. Did you hear that, folks? This is what's going into the short. That little soundbite I collected from Will right there. Archdruid's Charm, equivalent to Necropotence. Next card. I don't have anything for you out of green. Will, you got anything else for them? Chalk outline, maybe?
So I got a couple things. So one, I have a hard-hitting question. This is just 1 green. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker you don't control. This is just a greet and punch effect for 1. Pretty nice. Yeah. Nothing insane, but it's another piece of removal that people might want to run.
Mm-hmm.
The next one I had was debatably one of the best green removal pieces we've seen in a while. Pick your poison. 1 green. Choose 1. Each opponent sacrifices an artifact. Or each opponent sacrifices an enchantment. Or each opponent sacrifices a creature with flying.
This is the card I was talking about last night.
This card. Yeah. You thought it was in black and I'm like, I think you're talking about this.
Yeah.
This card is so good because yes, it's a sorcery. Boo-hoo. You can't do it at instant speed. You don't care. A lot of the time people are just going to say, I play it, I name enchantment. Goodbye Ristic, goodbye like Smothering Tithe or just a reanimate enchant or something. This is brutal when it names enchantment. It's nice when it names artifact, and it can be really brutal when it names flyer because this kills Crumb. This kills Brina. This kills any legendary with flying.
Zur?
Which is just rude.
Yeah. Does Zur have flying?
Yeah, Zur has flying. This kills Zur.
Teshar has flying.
Yeah, Teshar also has flying. And there's also just a couple random creatures that have flying, like Aven Mind Sensor, that you may just be fine with hitting. This card is brutal. It is It's like a mini board wipe for 1 mana.
Oh, damn, you're so right. Imagine just doing that against shit against Tivit. You're like, you know what? Let's forget about the
Oh yeah,
ward.
that's how he killed Pivot.
I'm sorry, Ward, what? That's how he killed Tivit. We solved the case, people. It was the vial of poison from green. That's how Tivit died. Imagine the chalk outline for that bastard. Anyways, guys, any other green cards you want to talk about? Anything lean, mean, and green that's steering up your machine?
Well, I have
Oh,
three more.
Oh, fuck. Will, save some for the audience.
We're still going.
I'm just kidding, but really, audience, like, do us a favor. Ask us about a green card. Yeah, get ready to give us your green ones. TCG player affiliate link. All right, well.
My next one, this is more of a fun card, but I know that someone's going to do something really dumb with this card eventually, so I did want to bring it up. Slime Against Humanity. So, Slime Against Humanity is 2 and a green for sorcery that says, create a 0/0 green ooze creature token with trample. Put X +1/+1 counters on it, where X is +2, the total number of cards you own in exile or in your graveyard that are oozes or are named Slimes Against Humanity. A deck can have as many number of this card in their deck as they want.
So 99 card
Ooze Against Humanity or Slime Against Humanity, yeah. But the reason why I like this card, one, you can do some dumb fun stuff in Selvala with this, because each ooze is always going to be bigger than the previous ooze, so it's going to trigger Selvala and draw you more and more and more cards.
I'm going to stop you there. Will, you need to make the Selvala ooze build. I just want to say. You need to put this theory to the test. You're going to bring it up. If you're going to bring it up on local game group, then we need evidence of its success, Will.
It's best in casual, but it would be funny in CDH.
Okay.
But on top of that, the fact that you're just making really big slimes is pretty good. And on top of the fact that you can mill these and then play one and then make like a 20/20 trampler. And if you have Life's Legacy or anything like that, you are going off. There's a lot of potential to break this card. I don't know if it's going to be broken ever, but it has a lot of potential. I will also say
Thrumming Stone, Slime Against Humanity.
Yeah, Thrumming Stone is another good one.
Yeah.
I'll say this is very funny with Gale as well, because you can double up all those Slimes Against Humanities to keep going more and more and more. So if you want to do like a Simic Gale deck, there you go.
Ripple is what we care about here. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, so it's not anything inherently insane, but it does have the potential to do some funny things. So even if it's not going to be high tier CDH, we're probably going to get a good laugh out of someone making a CDH deck out of that.
Yeah, and Zealot said it's a Dragon's Approach. Yeah, pretty much.
Yep. I debatably like it more than Dragon's Approach. Dragon's Approach cheats like a 6/6 dragon in play. This cheats like a 30/30 slime in play.
And, oozes are way cooler than dragons, let's be honest, people. Yeah.
You can make an ooze dragon. You can't make a dragon ooze. That sounds really horrible.
Point to me the TikTok video where someone makes a dragon ooze. Show me.
Okay, well, going to my next card. Undergrowth Recon. 1 green for an enchantment that says at the beginning of your upkeep, target land you control, or return target land you control. Turn target land card from your graveyard onto the battlefield tapped. This just ramps you every single turn. It's pretty nice. I don't think it's gonna be insane, but I can see a few decks trying it out just to ramp out a little bit. For CDH, it's not that strong. For casual, this card is really strong, but I can see a couple people teching this in for weird reasons.
You're gonna root maze your Fetid Heath?
I'm gonna root maze it myself, man. It's coming to play tapped.
Well, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Yeah, not your Fetid Heath though. That's like a filter land, Arid Mesa. I don't know. You're in green. Tell me the green fetch lands. It's cool. This is probably my favorite art from the set. I'm sorry. I'm just noticing how good this looks. Ryan Pancoast, you get the award for best art from Murders at Karlov Manor. It's just so in depth and it matches the flavor, the actual flavor of the card really well. It just looks fucking cool. Sorry.
Indeed. And then my last green card is On the Trail. It's 1 and a green for a enchantment. Again?
Oh, we're going back. We're going back in time
Yes,
here.
I did the main set, then I did Commander afterwards, and I know that you're doing everything in alphabetical order in general.
This art
Um,
reminds me of another. I'll look up the other art in a second. Actually, while you tell us your thoughts on this, give me
yeah.
1 second.
So On the Trail is really cool in two very specific decks, and it's Tatiova and the 6 mana Tatiova counterpart. But it's really good in general, and it's okay in a couple different decks. It is 1 for an enchantment. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, put a land from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. With Tatiova, that just draws you another card and plays another land. It will let you play several lands per rotation. It's just another burgeoning or exploration. It's a pretty good effect. For other decks, this is also just a generically good card because it helps you ramp out a tiny bit faster. It's more or less just exploration, but you can get lands out at instant speed if you want to get that, what's it called? The Glacial Chasm to prevent combat damage to meme people. But more or less, this is just another card that goes in Tatiova and what is his name? Aes? Aeis, I think is how you spell that. It's the Tatiova that's 6 mana, but instead of gaining a life when you play land, you can play another land every turn. Cool card. I don't know if it's a great card, but it definitely has a place in at least 2 CDH decks.
There's a green card that has very similar art. It's like the same angle, looking at a bridge. I, for the life of me, can't find it, but the bridge is flipped. It's going the other way. It's killing me though. It's like a artifact enchantment bounce or something.
Oh no, I think I know what you're talking about.
Do you know what I mean? It's
Is it
like
Assemble the Legion.
I think it's a sorcery speed spell. Right up. It looks dead on like this. Like it's really bothering me that I can't not assemble the Legion. It's a bridge shot like this. If you can remember the green card that does this. What's the green card that untaps tap lands? I don't know. I wonder if you can break Recon with Mystical Sanctuary. Spelunking? Reclamation something. Seedborn? Reclamation. Sorry. Will, were there any other green cards you want to look at, though?
That was it. That was my last green card.
Yeah, so guys, if there's any other green cards from the set you want to look at, please let us know. But we're about to move on with life, so... Will, do you have any more popcorn to eat for them, or?
Yeah, I still have a bit more.
All right.
Spelunking is the 3 mana Explorer thing that just says your land's under play untapped.
Okay. So is that how we're on the trail comboing?
Potentially.
Okay, well, I don't have too many multicolored spells to talk about, if at all. So I've got one artifact I want to talk about. No lands of note. But did I miss the card already? Hold up. Where is it? Where are you? It's right there. Okay. This one's kind of notable in my opinion. I think it's okay for Gruul players. Most multicolored cards, it's rare that you dive into committing to have to play with 2 pips for any effect, but if you're specifically in Gruul, this feels okay. Depends on what your deck is doing. But Breakout for Gruul. Look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card from among them. If that card has a mana value of 2 or less, you may put that card onto the battlefield. It gains haste until the end of turn. Plenty of great cards in Gruul at 2 mana that you could do this with. I mean, really, I'm thinking of a monkey immediately, but it gains haste. If you didn't put the revealed card onto the battlefield this way, put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So you need to reveal a creature specifically, but most Gruul lists are looking for creature-based combos, so it's just another way to dig. It's like having Hans, I guess. Is that the name of that Gruul guy? It's okay. I saw it. I just like ways to dig, ways to tutor, ways to search. So it's notable for me.
I wish it was an instant. Then I would 100% play that. Yeah,
it's kind of bugging me that it's sorcery, but... hey, kiddo. Your ride's here. Okay, that's one of 2 multicolored spells I wanted to talk about, and the other one is just a little ways down here. I like this card. We've got a new... Let me just double check. I had to be wrong again. Oh, well, look at this one. This looks way better. Kaya Spirit's Justice. So for 2 generic and Orzhov, 3 loyalty on ETB. Whenever one or more creatures you control and or creature cards in your graveyard are put into exile, you may choose a creature card from among them. Until end of turn, target token you control becomes a copy of it, except it has flying. So remember that trigger. +2, surveil 2, then exile a card from a graveyard. Okay, well, that's how that works. Or +1, create a 1/1 white-black spirit creature token with flying. So if you lack the body to replicate whatever you're trying to exile here, then you can make it that way. And then there's a -2, exile target creature you control. For each other player, exile up to one target creature that player controls. So there's a lot of utility in this card. I think at 4 CMC, it's going to be a push for a lot of decks, but it's just another way to get that reanimate special online. But it's also cool because it doesn't have to, whenever you can control and or creature cards in your graveyard are put into exile. One or more creatures you control and or creature cards in your graveyard are put into exile. So you just need to control the thing so that -2 actually functionally works as a way to make creatures copies of things. So any
keep a temporary copy.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think, is there like a 1-2 punch with this where just having two
You're bad Phantasm. Let's go.
There you go. You would need to be in blue for the Mirror Mad, but
yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's just one. I feel like it's notable. There's a lot of good Kayas out there, but none of them are really played. But I like this one a lot. I'm just trying to think of, like, if you duplicated this trigger, though, is there a creature that you just duplicated this and, like, got 2 of that one on the spot? I don't really think so.
The weird Biomancer, potentially, but you'd need, like, 7 copies of it or something dumb like that.
Just make the ooze deck, people.
Yeah, just make the ooze deck. But yeah, with the fun interaction with this Mirror Mad Phantasm, the token becomes Mirror Mad Phantasm. Then Mirror Mad Phantasm says you can pay 1 to blue, shuffle it into your deck, then you mill until you hit a card named Mirror Mad Phantasm. You never hit the card named Mirror Mad Phantasm because it's a token, not Mirror Mad Phantasm. So you just mill your whole deck.
I just got Fiend Hunter. Exile another creature.
No. Fiend Hunter does not work.
When Fiend Hunter enters the battlefield, you may exile another target creature. So you're suggesting it exiles itself?
Actually, hold up. So
wait, no, but it's another creature. So wait. There might be something here.
Well, so the thing is,
it's not entering.
Kai doesn't make a token. Kaya makes a token into a copy of something, so you don't get the ETB on the token.
But is there a creature that has a activated ability? We're working here. We're really working here.
It has synergy with Fiend Hunter. It doesn't combo with Fiend Hunter, but it does have synergy with Fiend Hunter. That's what you're saying. Yeah, that's fair. That's somewhat fair.
Okay. Will, any multicolored cards you want to discuss before we move on to artifacts?
Well, someone brought up a card first, and I don't have this on my list, but I did want to bring this up because this is an interesting card to bring up, and it's the Boros Impact Tremors. I need to find the name of that card really quickly because I know exactly what they're talking about.
I know what you're talking about too. Do we know the name of the card?
It's so low down here. Where is it? War Leader's Call. War Leader's Call is just 1 a red, a white for an enchantment that says creatures you control have +1/+1. When a creature enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent takes 1. Yeah, Impact Tremors, but also an Anthem for 1 extra white.
Also, one of the better arts from the set, so
indeed,
I'm all for it. I like Anthems.
It also has a pretty good alternate art. I kind of like both of them. The original might be better in my opinion, though. But yeah,
they are both good. I don't disagree.
Well, my first multicolored card is Insidious Roots. So Insidious Roots is a black and a green for an enchantment that says creature tokens you control have add 1 mana of any color. Whenever 1 or more creature cards leave your graveyard, create an 0/1 plant creature token. Then put a +1/+1 counter on each plant you control. So this card is interesting because
good infinite lines here if you just need to make the bodies. Yeah,
there's potential infinite lines with things like Yawgmoth in this, because if you have an Undying creature and this, when the Undying creature enters the graveyard and leaves, you make a plant, sack the plant, remove the counter from the Undying creature, then sacrifice the Undying creature, repeat. So this has infinite lines being a token generator in the exact way that it is. the what's it called? The mana ability. I can't not remember the name of that card that does this thing, but for all creatures. Cryptolith. It's a mini Cryptolith for a little bit less mana, with also the potential to do some weird infinite loops. But also, if you just have ways of occasionally removing cards from your graveyard, you can make really, really, really big plants, and you can just punch people to death.
I agree. Or
It's cool.
Act the Soul Cauldron.
And I also wanted to bring up one combo that people or someone brought up to me, Tayam, or whatever the name of that freaking Abzan dinosaur thing is, that says remove 3 counters from permanents you control and pay 3 to reanimate a 3 or less drop.
What's it called?
I think it's Tayam. That's the name of the yeah,
gotcha.
The Abzan legendary that does reanimate stuff.
Grizzly's like it goes straight into Tayam, but Mateus is saying it goes into Najeela?
Yeah, because you turn all of your soldiers into dorks, so Najeela just gives you really hard ramp.
Aren't there other effects that do this though? Why is this better than like the Cryptolith, right?
Mana.
Oh, is it 2 generic and a green for Cryptolith, right?
Yeah, Cryptolith Right's 3 mana. There's the Song of the Dryads, which is 2 mana, but you have to it only lasts for 2 turns. This is like a good generic grindy value engine, and in Tayam, it's a really good combo piece.
Okay. I agree.
Oh, wait, also, I know the reason why in Najeela, I keep forgetting this is a thing. Insidious Roots attack with everything, then activate Najeela, untapping all your attackers, then you tap them all for 5, untap them, and you make infinite mana. That's part of the reason why Najeela as well. It's a really easy infinite mana setup.
We're also getting Agave, which really makes me want tequila.
Yeah, we got Gabe. Gabe is
yeah.
Gabe. But yeah, I keep forgetting that Insidious Roots is a combo card in Najeela. It's just another Derevi style effect because you keep untapping all of your warrior tokens, and then you move to your next combat, attack with them, tap them again, move to your next combat, attack with them, tap them again, move to next combat again and again and again and again and again. So
but where do the plant tokens come in, Will?
They don't. They sit there and be on the ground like they're supposed to because they're plants.
All right, my only question is, Mateus, which art are you getting? Tell me this one or the other one, this one.
I like the original art better than the alternate art.
The original art, like, this is so unique.
Yeah, it's like, really abstract. That's why I like it.
Because it looks like, have you guys played Castlevania Symphony of the Night? Okay, well, I have 100 times. And you know how there's, spoiler alert, there's an upside down castle? This kind of reminds me of how you have both the upside down castle and then the right side up castle in the black there. It's just really good art. This is so damn good. If we're having such a limited palette of color, like they did a really amazing job here. This might be my favorite. It's also a story spotlight card for some reason. The roots of Vitu Ghazi allowed Tristani to reach every crack and crevice in the city. The second art, get the Mateus. No, I won't allow it. I will not let you play that art unless the first has a full art. Here, I'll take just let me get like a white and black Sharpie for you and I'll full art it. Jeez. Gave makes tokens and dies out of counters to create plant tokens. Oh wait, sorry. I think I was thinking of the two. I'm just joking. I agree with you, Ori, on Gave. I'm just giving Gave a hard time. All right, Will. Any other multicolored cards you want to discuss?
Well, also I want to say that apparently Micaeus is building waifu tribal in Najeela just because he has to have a card with a lady on it in every single freaking art now.
Oh, is that true? Okay.
Yeah, well, apparently that's where he's going. Why else would you get the Insidious Roots alternate art?
Well, like, I don't want to say that this art is bad. I just I think the other one is better. And art is subjective. And you can be wrong, Mateus. I'm saying you can be wrong. Okay. At any rate, commander dies, leaves from graveyard, right? This is true.
You can do things with Dargo where it's dies, removes. That's why Tormod Dargo is an infinite loop with Phyrexian Altar.
All right. No sexy ladies for you. All right. Any other multicolored card? You had one more, right?
Yeah, one more. And this is an interesting one because it's a little bit of removal and a little bit of ramp. World Soul's Rage. World Soul's Rage
Is this every color? It sounds like it would be.
No, it's not. It's Gruul.
So the world is consistent of just Gruul.
Indeed.
Okay.
Well, because green is the world and red is rage.
Oh, okay. Thanks for breaking that down. Thanks for breaking it down for me, man.
Have fun reading this this flavor text when I'm done reading the card because it's a lot.
Wow, there's more flavor text than there is card.
Yeah. So it's a X red green sorcery, deal X damage to any target, put up to X land cards from your hand and or the graveyard onto the battlefield tapped. Get back all those fetches, play out every land in your hand, kill a thing or kill a player. Have fun.
Well, I think I found the meme here. Tell me you're a story spotlight card without telling me you're a story spotlight card. When you have this much flavor text, I think it's pretty obvious. Because I didn't even look for it, but I'm like, oh shit, yeah, this is a story spotlight card, isn't it? Thanks for filling us in. I feel like this might be the most wordy. Here, sorry. I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna read the story because Will wanted me to. Hoarding supplies, profiting from death and destruction, colluding with the invaders. Every one of them betrayed Ravnica in its time of greatest need. They all deserve to die, and I'm not done yet. Ooh, God, these Tristani girls—they really get me going. OnlyFans coming soon. All right, Will. I agree. I think it's a good card. A World's Rage to any target. Jeez, put excellence in your hand. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, every fetch back. Well, let's go.
Does it feel bad that they're tapped?
It feels a little bit bad, but you can kind of live with it. If you're putting this in like a mid-range-ish deck, it's fine.
Wait, no, Grizzly, I responded to that. We're not touching on the clue cards here, but we can end with some clue cards. I mean, aren't they?
Well, the funny thing is, I did touch on the clue cards. The issue is there were no clue cards to cover for the 99.
So, Grizzly, if there are any clue cards you want to talk about, feel free to let us know in the chat, and we'll look over those. But otherwise, screw them. You know what I'm saying, man? All right, guys, if you have any other multicolored cards you want to look at, damn, this one's so good. And they're both good, this and the alt art. Although I'm not going to lie, I think the OG one here is also just better. I like seeing all three of them. All right. Tin Street Gossip. Vishanu. So this isn't just a lizard with a job. It's an actual Vishanu. How to pronounce that word?
Why are they special? What the crap?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have been watching this whole stream, but like Rox, Loxodon, Leonin, fuck them. They're just basic animals with jobs.
They're animals with a job.
But when you got a lizard that has a job, it's Vishinu.
That lizard is a diplomat. Thank you very much. He's an advisor.
Oh, really? Okay. The law mages are trying to hush it up, but I'm telling you, the god didn't fall off the balcony. He was pushed. Dude.
He's indeed a gossip.
I love Magic the Gathering. Okay. At any rate, Viashino. Thank you. Viashino. No, I'm good. I already had coffee this morning, Mateus. Mastermind Plum is one you'd like to look at. Plum?
Yep,
okay.
We did. We looked at him in the commander list thing that we did where we're talking about tier list for commanders. He's really he's playable Storm. I was gonna say he's really good, but I think that he's not great. But he definitely can do decent Storm stuff.
Is Zuckerberg Viashino?
Yes.
Yeah,
canonically, yes.
It's Viashino. Oh my god, I would love it if they made Zuckerberg into an MTG card. It's gonna happen, but he's gonna be Viashino.
They need to do Secret Lair where they just have all of the tech billionaires. And it's some conspiracy theory meme for each of them, where it's Zuckerberg's Viashino, Elon Musk is a robot or something like that. Just have something along the lines of that for every single one of them.
SLD tech. So Secret Lair drop tech mogul. Yeah, the way Yaris wording in the text is too tricky to understand if you're not read it carefully. Yaris's? Are you talking about that Minotaur guy?
Yars is the Roar of the Old Gods. So this is one that I asked how he functions because there's a lot of weird rulings that could occur. But other creatures you control have haste. Whenever one or more face-down creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, draw a card. And then whenever a face-down creature you control dies, return to the battlefield face-up under its owner's control if it's a permanent card. Then it turns face-up. So it will, if it's a permanent card, it'll return to the owner's board face-down and then flip face-up. There's things you can do. There's not a lot of great things, but the placement of the commas is the main thing. We stumbled over this card when we were talking about it on the live stream. Because we're like, what happens if it's an instant or sorcery? Do you just get to keep reanimating it over and over and over and over and over again because it only flips if it's a permanent? And then it's like, no. It only reanimates if it's a permanent, and then it has to flip.
Sorry, I'm just asking. Like, I forget the guy's name, but like the TikTok guy, what subtype is he? I just want to build out the secret lair for Wizards of the Coast so that when they ask for ideas, which they never will from me, I can give those to them. But hey, we've got one more card to talk about, at least on my list, and it's artifact based. I actually really like this one. I don't think it's practical, and I'm not even sure it's good, but you know what? I'm a bitch for cryptics. So, 2 generic artifacts. Tap, collect evidence 3. Add 1 mana of any color. Put an unlock counter on Cryptics. Sacrifice Cryptics, surveil 3, then draw 3 cards. Activate only if Cryptics has 5 or more unlock counters on it. Yes, that's a high value. Technically, it's another 2 CMC rock. 2-for-1s are notable in my opinion. I do think that this is a high ask for this card, but I will say that the flavor of it is so good. And I'm actually quite a fan of it. I think there are lists that can manipulate this well. I think something like a Teshar could actually use this. This wouldn't be bad. The activate only if the counters are on it, though, does obviously stifle this. So you'd have to really work your brain around this Cryptics on how you can get multiple counters on there without having to collect that much evidence. But what's cool is once you hit that counter, like the unlock counter threshold, when you tap this, it's fine because you could still sacrifice it to do the thing. I really don't think it's that awful, but it's not going to go on many lists at all. There might be like a list that wants this, but that's the only artifact that I saw that I liked, Will.
There were no artifacts that I liked from the set.
It does.
But I will say there's one land that I like, and this land is an artifact.
The Toyota Yaris all vehicle. Sorry. Which land? Go for it.
It is Scene of the Crime, and this is an artifact land clue.
I need to look this up.
It enters the battlefield tapped. Boo. It taps for a colorless. Boo. You can tap an untapped creature you control to make a mana of any color. And then also, you can pay 2 and sacrifice this to draw a card. So, the reason why this card is playable, Magda and only Magda. So it's a land that you can tap Magda to make a mana of any color. You really only care about tapping Magda with this. But then also, if you have Elixir of Immortality in your Magda deck, you can keep recurring Scene of the Crime and then go through your entire deck over by just going, Magda, sack my infinite treasures. Elixir of Immortality, Scene of the Crime. If I have a way of making mana, activate Elixir. Then, or get like, not Lion's Eye Diamond, but like Lotus Petal and something else. Then draw a card off Scene of the Crime, shuffle Scene of the Crime and Elixir back into the deck. Do that again and again and again. You're drawing 1 card every single time you do that. You draw all your non-artifacts in your deck. Win however you'd like to win with that. So, it's a tap lane for Magda, and it's an outlet if you mix it with Elixir of Immortality. Some Magda decks run Elixir of Immortality because if Clock of Omen does get popped by something, you can shuffle Clock of Omen back in.
That Haywire might. That lone Haywire might. Yeah?
Yeah, indeed.
Haywire
might can make it a bit harder for you, but I like the land in general. Only downside is it enters play tapped, but you really don't care.
Yeah, Magda's pretty cheap. You can make it work. I like this card. I like it specifically for Magda, though. I wouldn't say it's spice or tech for any other list.
Well,
But we
I will say, it is an artifact that you can recur, that you can sacrifice to draw a card. You don't even need to tap sack it. So, kind of useful in a couple other decks, but probably not notable.
yeah, I was gonna say like it doesn't matter that it enters tapped for that effect, so it's not so bad. It's like it's a recurable artifact. Like the thing is, let me. No, I'm trying to think if there's like someone who could just bring artifact to battlefields and get around the 1 land per turn rule.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't matter. We'll look at it later. But Merchant of Truth, Wolfsbane, we've been covering the commander precons this whole time. I was going to bring her up because I thought she was kind of a cool utility, but I didn't because I don't know if she does enough. But you're mentioning how this in Tivit is a very scary beater. So, for 2 generic double white flying, whenever a non-token creature you control dies, investigate. 2/5 body, I should say to start. Clues you control have exalted. So, if you don't know Tivit also does the investigate thing. I don't know if this being on the board is enough of an excuse for everyone to just give you treasures. Probably not. But even still, Tivit will generate 2 clues by himself. And then obviously, this also makes tokens. So this, outside of Tivit, is just a way to infinitely investigate. So if you needed an outlet for your Grave Loop, right? Because you could do the Lean In line with this as well. If you guys don't know Lean In line, Animate Dead, Lean In Relic Water. Basically, you just make infinite investigations. And one of the things you can do during that line is sacrifice Lean into something that produces mana. So Ashnod's Altar, it could be Phyrexian Altar, the list goes on. Basically, if you don't want to beat someone to death, which you very well could with this, you could draw through your list with that infinite mana. So there are lines of play here. They're kind of convoluted, but it's cool. I also really just like the art. It's one of the reasons I was going to bring it up, but I didn't. Especially this extended
whenever
art.
a non-token creature dies, investigate.
Pretty good.
March of the Machines combo, you cowards. Come on, do it. Let us do the March of the Machines combo like pitiless plunder. Come on.
Where is that card? What is the... Oh, there it is. March of the Machines. Each non-creature artifact is an artifact creature with power and toughness equal to its converted mana cost.
So Pitiless Plunder says whenever a creature dies, make a treasure. So your treasures become 0/0 creatures that die and make treasures that die and make treasures that die and make treasures and die and make treasures. Could have done that with Merchant of Truth, but it's a non-token.
Yeah. Azorius Clue card. Forget his name. Azorius Clue card.
He's Proft.
Yeah, I think we might have talked about Proft, did we?
We talked about him on the Commander coverage, the Commander tier list.
Well, he's not he makes clues, yes. Is there an Azorius Clue edition Ravnica card?
There is a few Clue edition things, but it's like Lavinia. Okay. So the Clue edition cards that are Azorius are the one Lavinia that whenever you cast your second spell each turn, investigate. The Portal Manipulator, which just redirects combat, I believe, and then there's one more, the Suppressor Skyguard. Whenever player attacks, that player has another opponent who isn't being attacked. Yeah, it's prevent all combat damage to you if they didn't attack everybody. There's not really anything from the Clue edition for Azorius that's relevant, but Proft is like the one good Clue commander from, like, Clue generation commander from the stuff that I've seen, because he makes a clue, he lets you crack a clue, draw a lot of cards.
All right, guys, so I'm leaving it to you. Are there any more cards from either Ravnica Clue edition and or predominantly Murders at Karlov Manor and its adjoining commander sets? Let us know before we close this out.
I will say Grizzly did bring up Mastermind Plum specifically in the 99. You did specifically in 99 though.
Right. You did talk about it there though, but we can look it up.
Yeah, Mastermind Plum is pretty cool because I actually didn't really think about him in the 99 at all, but after thinking about it, I do kind of like it, because if you do Mastermind Plum in Tivit, crack a treasure, draw a card, so all of your treasures are clues in addition. If you're playing Mastermind Plum in Lotho, whenever you crack a treasure, you functionally draw a card as long as you play a card with that treasure mana. There's a couple different commanders that make treasure tokens that run black that let you just draw a ton off of Mastermind Plum. Mastermind Plum does a lot of work. And he's also just Grave Hate, so he's utility.
I like it.
Yeah, I didn't really think about using him in the 99. I agree he can do a good amount of work in the 99.
I won't defer you to the legendary tier list collector. We can look at Amzu really quickly, but we do discuss Amzu in that video at length. But we'll look at it right after Snarling Gorehound here. So Snarling Gorehound, for a black menace, 1/1 body, whenever another creature with power 2 or less enters the battlefield, you under your control, surveil 1. So this is
forgot about this card. I brought this up on the Discord. It's
like a Dragon's Rage channeler. Jinx, you owe me a banana.
Dang. I'll ship one to you. It's going to become like a black toxic mass by the time that it makes it up there, but I can ship one to you.
Just like how I like it. Yeah, guys, we avoided talking about legendaries as we discussed all of them in the legendary tier list, but we'll look at those before we close this out. Oh yeah, this is good. It's just another way to surveil until you fail, right?
Yeah. Snarling Gorehound may be competing for best boy. Let's go.
Amzu?
Amzu is the insect commander that I talked about before, who was almost good enough. I can quickly run over Amzu again and repeat my thoughts, because I can do it in like under a minute. Amzu's 5 mana for a Golgari commander with flying and menace. Your other insects have menace, and whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard, you put a 1/1 black-green insect creature token onto the battlefield with a number of +1/+1 counters equal to the greatest CMC of the exiled cards. Do this once per turn. If you didn't have that last clause, this would be really good at building a massive army and taking people out. If you didn't have the last clause, you could probably storm off and combo off. It's 5 mana, make 1 big insect every turn, and it has menace. That's it. Feels bad.
I see Marvo. So Ken Standish, instead of telling you our thoughts on Marvo, we're going to be brewing Marvo this Friday. It might be Friday, it might be Thursday. I just need to clear up something with my wife. But we're going to be building Marvo this coming week, so just expect that. We can look at Marvo then. But I think Marvo could be a really good CDH commander, like legitimately. It's pretty freaking awesome. We have ideas on it. Convenient Target is another card that was brought up. Convenient Target is 1 red, enchantment aura. Enchant creature. When convenient target enters battlefield, suspect enchanted creature. It has Manache and can't block. It gets +1/+1. Return convenient target from your grave to your hand. And this is being suggested as another form of removal? Or did you retract that statement? It's okay. Any thoughts on convenient target, Will? With that one Boros leader, you can suspect it in advance.
Indeed. The main use of this card is potentially doing cast loops, because if you can keep recasting this to get some kind of effect, you might be able to loop it. Like WUBRG.
WUBRG? I like WUBRG
you
here.
can do some weird WUBRG things with it, but not really. It is a card that is really all there is to it. Yeah, I thought it returned from the graveyard. That's fair. If it returned from the graveyard, it would potentially be better.
It suggested Gorehound in Lure's companion list, yeah?
I'd suggest Gorehound in a lot of lists. If you can make any kind of tokens, you fill your graveyard really quickly.
Yeah, I like
there
that.
has to be something where you can do like Tormod with a Gorehound, and then you can do some really dumb things, because whenever something leaves your graveyard, you make a 2/2 zombie, which then surveils and puts something new into your graveyard. So if you can just keep exiling stuff from your own graveyard, you can keep going.
So if you do like the Leonin loop with this and you just fill your grave, what is the best flashbacker thing you can do? Do you have like
the Leonin loop? You don't need a flashbacker.
No. Like obviously that, but like what? You just have Savine's Reclamation there, or you can
No.
What is?
You're ignoring the fact that the way you end the Leonin loop is you reanimate anything else in your graveyard other than Leonin Relic Order.
That's true.
So part of the loop is you win the game because you reanimate the thing that wins.
I'm just thinking in Luris though. I'm sorry. I just like what is the big Luris play? Because like you're not gonna bring back Razaketh and Loris. Like I'm I don't know. Anyway, so
Well, if it's Lurrus as the commander, you can.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I'm sorry. I always think Loris, and I think that's how Ken plays Loris, actually. No, you said companion list. Okay.
In the companion, you probably bring back. Uh, the best thing to bring back for doing it in Lurrus is the companion. If you're doing Leonin Relic, you loop through, then you can bring back.
Considering it may be worth considering in Tana Timna. Sack 3 reanimate. Give Phyrexian Swarmlord Menace. Give Phyrexian Swarmlord Menace.
There's probably something I don't really know though, because there isn't anything that's like do blank equal to the number of creatures that you've controlled that died this turn when you reanimate it.
Okay.
I will say one card from the clue set that I kept thinking of bringing up but never did, but it is potentially good enough.
I need to step out for 1 second, but keep talking,
Sure.
and then I'll be back, and then we'll close this one out. Potentially, we'll see if there's any more cards you guys want to talk about. We'll talk about it, but yeah, be right back.
One card that I thought of bringing up and forgot to bring up is Afterlife Insurance. So Afterlife Insurance, sadly, Patrick isn't going to be able to pull it up, but I'll read it for you guys. So it's one generic, and then it's either a black or a white for an instant. Creatures you control have Afterlife 1. Afterlife reads whenever a creature you control, or whenever the creature dies, you make a 1/1 white-black spirit token with flying, and then you draw a card. So you basically make it so you can double tap all of your creatures for more sacrifices. It's pretty nice if you have a commander that cares about sacking stuff. It's not going to go in every list, but the fact that it's a cantrip that doubles up your sacrificing effects is pretty nice. And yes, indeed, Monkey. The thing that I can think of for Afterlife Insurance that's cool, because I had a Yawgmoth deck that I tried making at some point, but I never got to make it too great, was Liliana's Standard Bearer. 2 and a black for a 3/1 with Flash. ETB, draw a card for every creature you control that died this turn. The thing I wanted to do with Yawgmoth was be able to reanimate that several times over to keep drawing more and more and more cards, and then combo off with that. The Afterlife Insurance helps with that. You can't do that in a Yawgmoth deck, but you can do that other decks to make that work. So that's an interesting card to think about, because it is just a double up your sacrifices.
Yo.
Hello.
We talking about Kibbo still?
Yes, totally Kibbo, not Afterlife Insurance at all. Okay. But I was bringing up Afterlife Insurance, which is just a 2-mana spell that gives all of your creatures Afterlife 1 for the turn, and then draw a card. So it's a cantrip that lets you get a body when you sack a creature this turn, but only for the creatures you currently control. It's really good if you have a commander that has a sack effect that's worth using. Yawgmoth was the first thing that came to mind, but Yawgmoth doesn't play into your colors. There's probably some other good commanders out there that can play into it a little bit better.
I dig it. I like Afterlife Insurance. It's something to put in your back pocket, or if you pick one of these up.
Also, it's a cantrip. It's not even bad.
It's not even bad, Will says. Quote 2024.
Indeed.
No, it's worth it. I think for a common it's good. All right, guys. I think that might be it for
also, it's an
cards covered.
Patrick, thank you very much. Respect the rarity.
Right. That's right. It only takes so many slots. Yay, grief. Grief. Oh. It is instant speed, right? So technically. Whenever it enters the battlefield, yada, 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 evoke. How does evoke read? Can you instant speed this out before the evoke creature dies?
Yep. It's an ETB trigger. Evoke is an ETB trigger.
You may cast a spell for its evoke cost. If you do, sacrifice it when it enters the battlefield. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the Afterlife doesn't reanimate the creature, it just gives you a blank 1/1 on top of it.
Does it though? Wait, you may cast a spell for its evoke cost. If you do, it's sacrificed when it enters the battlefield, so it get the trigger. Okay, so then you just do it with the trigger on the stack. That's cool.
Yeah, you'll just get a 1/1 off Grief dying. It's not going to be a 1/1 Grief, it's just going to be a 1/1 Spirit token.
Last card, not related, but what's the name of the Elf Storm card that draws for each creature that enters for 1 green?
Oh,
Kibba?
it's the sorcery. I don't know the name of the card off the top of my head.
Is it Kibba?
It's just 1 green. It's not Song of the Dryad. Is it Song of the Dryad?
It's not Song of the Dryad. Song of the Dryad's the enchantment that makes a thing a land.
Crap, how do I not know this card? People
I just
really
noticed
love
that
this
the draw
card.
card is not part of the ability being given to the dying creature. Yeah, the cantrip is just there, Mateus.
Yeah, Glimpse of Nature.
Oh, there's 2 of these effects, by the way. There's more than just why is this an elf specific card? You really had me.
People play it in elves, and it's the one green mana for.
Yeah, but Dosen don't want nothing to do with no elf. I'm just kidding. I speak for Dosen, by the way. The one from the Secret Lair one with nature. It's kind of close, but that's searches for a land, so not really. Kubo looking kind of fake. And on that note, all right, guys, that covers Murders at Karlov Manor. That's right, all of the cards you should be buying from the set. And on that note, I don't know if I've mentioned this already during the stream, but if you are looking to pick up any singles for One Piece, for Sorcery, for Magic the Frickin' Gathering, guess what? You can purchase them through the link in the description. And if it isn't already stated, it happens to be an affiliate link. So when you're getting all those sweet, sweet goodies from the latest set, guess what? You're helping the channel. So help yourself, help me, help Will, help a poor child in need. And just maybe the world would be a better place. Will, any thoughts before we close this one out?
You covered most of the things. I hope people enjoyed the set, and if you want to hear our opinions on any of the commanders from the set, and not just the 99, go check out our live stream where we did the tier list for the commanders. We kind of covered every single legendary creature in detail.
Kind of, sir. I think we gave the most thorough evaluation of every legendary.
Well, I gotta say, there was a lot of D tiers that we just said bad bye.
Oh, well, okay, that's true. You should still.
To be fair, that's thorough compared to what the card does. So.
Abzo's reaction to my shilling is great. Yeah, I would still recommend you check it out, though. Will is absolutely right. It is the most definitive legendary guide for Murders at Karlov Manor you can find on the internet right now. That's what you said, right?
Indeed. Yes.
Okay.
And
D indeed. I feel like I thought I heard you say D indeed. Yeah, the stream where Lazov got robbed. Hey,
yeah.
It went to a poll, Mateus. It went to a poll. I think Will said he wanted an S. Am I wrong?
Yep, it should have been S. I still agree that it should have been S. I think that Lazov is insane because it's a commander that comes out almost always turn 1 that hates on graveyards and then combos out really easily.
I still need to see it. So this Friday, Mateus, get your shit in gear. If you think Lazov is S tier, prove it. Because I'm 2-0 right now when it comes to deck building. So I think I know what's S tier. Marvo's next, guys. Marvo is coming up this Friday or Thursday. Don't quote me. I will have it up on the stream side of things very soon. But if you guys want to see how good Marvo can be in CDH, well, join that stream. We're going to build it and potentially play it with you. Should you like, get your fucking shit set up so that we can play together, people. You're more than welcome to use a virtual cam. Will and or I might be playing. I don't speak for Will. I don't know if you want to play.
I'll likely be playing. I might try getting a virtual cam set up for that, but
so you can also play Marvo? So you can also play Marvo?
I'll do my Marvo versus your Marvo.
Oh, you have a separate Marvo. You don't think that
I'll make that separate Marvo.
Okay. All right. Well, yours is the calamari edition. Mine is the raw. Have you ever had just live octopus sashimi?
I have not.
Is that what it's called?
I gotta say that if I do play Marvo versus your Marvo, the way I'm introducing this, that's not a Marvo. This is a Marvo. It's not a knife. This is a knife. Those who don't know, look at the Marvo art, and it's just an octopus reaching out for a dagger.
Yeah. But guys, enjoy your weekend. Thanks for hanging out with us on this one. Again, if you need any answers to any cards that were in the set that weren't talked about, feel free to leave in the comments after this video if you managed to watch through all 2.5 hours of this. But congratulations to you. You deserve the grand prize, which is in the description of this video. Check it out. It's right there. It's waiting for you.
Margot was freaking robbed because he is just considered an octopus well and through, even though he's an octopus with a job.
What the hell?
He's a rogue.
He's a rogue. He's a rogue. I'm sorry. We'll end on Marvel.
Yeah, but he's just the deep operative. He's not like any specific tribe. He's just an octopus. But he's an octopus with a job.
So you're saying like Leonins via Shinu? Via Shino?
Oh, they're their own thing.
They're their own thing. Yeah.
they're lizard people, but with thumbs.
I need clarity on. I really want Wizards to just break down why certain elephants are Loxodon, but still considered elephants. But then you have lizard men that are clearly lizard men, separent from lizards. Because there are just plainly elephants in this game, and then there are walking, talking elephants. Like, what does is Quintorius Lorehold like? Is what's his name? Is he just? Does he have anything to say about this? Like, I feel like he's got to be fighting for equal rights for like elephants, right? Quintorius.
There's one other card that is a creature typing that'll give you a headache, Patrick.
No, he's just straight up an elephant. Sorry,
no, Patrick. Honored Hydra. It's a snake Hydra. But then that implies that all other hydras are not snakes. But
wait,
why isn't it a multi-headed snake?
Wait, well, this is specifically. Are you? Well, I don't think other hydras. I don't think all hydras are snakes. I think this is very specifically a snake hydra crossbreed.
If you look at every other hydra in the entire game, they're like snake hydra. Or they look snake-like. But for some reason, like this one, and there's one other Hydra that came out like a bit more recently that was it was Cons. It's hooded Hydra, but it's like it's a snake Hydra, but then also all other Hydras are snakes, but or all their Hydras look like snakes, but they're not snakes, and there's some multi-headed snakes that aren't Hydras, and they're like quadrupedal snakes.
We just want clarity, Wizards of the Coast. We just want a little clarity. We would like for these things to make sense to us players. Explain it to us. But yeah, while we wait for the lore book, guys, thanks for joining us on this one. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye now.
Peace.
Bye-bye. See ya. See ya. Okay. Let's see here. We should have a only Dimir night. That would actually be kind